Going on to all of our favorite people out there. Welcome back to another edition of the Hard Count, my friends. It's Tuesday, and CJ, it's a little different bit of a Tuesday here, guy. Usually, by the time we're hitting up the show, everything's done and over with. No, you know, COVID got everybody out here extra games. So we got the Eagles Washington game going on right now. We got a little bit of Seahawk Ram going on as well, and yeah, we're not fully through week 15 yet. Or 14, 15? No, 15.
15. Yeah, 15. Yeah, wow. Yeah, it's been a wild week. Like you said, a lot of these teams had a few outbreaks, guys getting COVID. I mean, a lot of them are asymptomatic, so that's good. They're not really having a lot of, yeah, it's a lot of these guys getting COVID. A lot of these guys are asymptomatic. So that's good. They're not really having any type of symptoms to where they're sick. But this is going to be a process, not just for the NFL, but definitely for these other American sports leagues as well. This is new territory that we're in. It's something that we're not used to. We're 2 years in, but it's still very young.
Yep.
And as these leagues start to understand what's going on, players are going to have to continue to do their part. And we'll see what happens going forward. But I see this being the norm, really, until who knows. I mean, as much as I know they want to keep things on schedule, these companies have, contracts with other different type of organizations that they have scheduled for different days and times and things like that. But it's just the nature of the beast. It's times that we're living in, so you just have to adjust.
Yeah, oh, look at this. We already got the color cast as well. But like I said, people, before we go on, we can't see your stuff on Twitter anymore. So, make sure you hit us up on Facebook, hit us up on YouTube, Twitch, everywhere. Make sure you hit us up so we can interact with the people. And Colorcast, listen, if you don't want to look at this beauty, which, by the way, I don't understand why you wouldn't. You can go over to Colorcast. It's just an audio only thing. You can leave it running in the back of your phone and help the kids out. You can help the kids out. But we got Michael in here already. Man said cancel everything again, COVID. Michael, I know you're lying. Because, listen, Michael, we're already having enough trouble scheduling banter with a little lockout. Could you imagine us having to do all these other shows without any sports once again?
Oh man,
I can't go back to that. That was a dark time in my life.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I don't see it happening though. I don't see it
No,
happening.
I think it's damn near impossible.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna be good.
Look at this, Michael. This man say they see me trolling, they hating. Michael, why you gotta troll us, huh? Why you gotta be
bringing
trolling?
it back to millionaire days.
Yeah, remember? Who was the dude that always made all of the
Weird Al Yankovic.
Weird Al Yankovic, bro?
Yeah.
Yo,
What a guy. Trapped through the drive-through. Classic.
I was a big fan of. Yeah, what was that? What's that song? The one with they see me rolling, they hate it, but he made like a white version of it.
Oh, White and Nerdy. Yeah.
Yes, bro. White and Nerdy. That was the song back in the day, bro.
Yeah, that was a song. He was way ahead of his time, man. It's like he did. Remember, he did "Eat It." He did the Michael Jackson. If he had did that during YouTube this time,
bro, man, would have been the most subscribed to person on the platform.
Nah, yeah, he would have been. Yeah, he paved the way for a lot of those. Remember those hip hop classic battles, rap battles.
Yo, remember epic rap battles of history?
That's what exactly. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah. He paved the way for those guys for sure.
But all right, CJ, it's a little weird, but we're gonna get into the games that are currently going on. We got a 17-10 game over here in Philly. I'm watching it right now on the beautiful TV. Michael, now that reminds me, doesn't have a TV in like the spot where he does the podcast. So whenever I say things, he's always like, "Oh, I didn't know that because I can't watch." Shout out me having a TV in my room, bro. Big fan. But yeah, 17-10 right now. The Eagles are driving down the field. They're at least in field goal range, to say the least. And it was weird. This game started off 10-0. I don't know if you saw it, CJ, but the pass to Dallas Goedert for a first down, I believe it was on third down, wide open. Man drops the ball. It bounces off his hands, then his thigh. Man kicks it up off the back of his heel and gets intercepted by Landon Collins. So that set the Washington football team over there up in very good field position. Wow. Eagles have 406 total yards of offense in the third quarter. Is that true?
Really?
That's what it just said. And Washington only had like 137. 406, bro. How's it only 17 points they got? Anyway, so that set up the Eagles or the Washington football team in pretty good field position. They end up scoring a touchdown. Antonio Gibson on the ground. There was another turnover. I believe Hurts fumbled the ball, and then Montez Sweat picked it up, and then he fumbled the ball. Then Sweat got back onto the ball. It was a mess. That led to a field goal. And then the Eagles go back down, get a field goal. They actually score a touchdown before the half with about a minute something left. And then after they went to halftime, I believe, Eagles came back out, scored another touchdown. Jalen Hurts has 2 touchdowns today, both on QB sneaks pretty much right at the goal line, which, CJ, we saw on Saturday night. Very effective, very effective. We will get to that game, believe that. But yeah, solid game being played so far. The Washington is without their both quarterbacks, so they're going with Garrett Gilbert, who was signed off the Patriot practice squad earlier in the week, but Heineke has COVID, and I believe that their backup is Colt McCoy, if I'm not
Kyle Allen.
Kyle? Okay.
Yeah, Kyle. Yeah, Colt McCoy is on the Cardinals.
Oh yeah. But that was way back in the day. That was the Kirk Cousins days.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins days. Yeah.
But yeah, 17-10 right now. And hey, for Washington, they hung in there. They were doing pretty good, and then the things just started going the Eagles' ways. 3rd and 13 right now, so we'll see what the Eagles do. But CJ, I know you've been watching this game as well because this is the game that's available in our area. What are you taking away from it?
I mean, I expect the Eagles to win this game. Like you said, the Washington football team, they don't have their starter or their backup quarterback in there. Just picked them up from the streets, really. And, at home, Philadelphia doesn't have the best home record, but, they need to come out and win this game. I think both teams are trying to make the playoffs, both at 6 and 7. So it's a lot is at stake for both of these teams. And it's unfortunate that the Washington football team, they don't have their guy, Heineke, under center right now, especially in these key moments to help them win these crucial games to try to get them in the playoffs. But Philadelphia does. They got most of their guys, and they need to capitalize and get this W if they want to, try to stay alive and maybe get to the playoffs.
Yeah, and you talked about getting most of their guys back. They got Hurts back. It's no more Minshew mania that we saw, some of these Eagle fans screaming for after they beat the Jets, like everybody else should. But
yeah, Minshew's like he's like Fitzpatrick. He's like a younger version of Fitzpatrick.
Bro.
He has a lot of character. He brings a lot of energy. He's a likable guy, I'm sure, amongst the locker room. But is he a franchise quarterback? That's the real question. I mean, granted, he played in one of the worst organizations in NFL history, just by all standards.
Yeah.
In the Jacksonville Jaguars. So not the greatest test, but I'm seeing some reports from different reporters and things like that over the course, that follow the league. They're saying he might get a shot next year, just based off that game. So he might get a 1-year prove-it deal, one of these, mid-level type teams, and he could show his worth, man. So we'll see what happens, man. Rooting for him. Good for him. It's gonna be on him.
And, CJ, me and you, it seem like are a little bit higher on Hurts than even some of the Eagles fans are. And I think a lot of that just comes from the fact that if you look at it from last year to this year, first of all, it's a new coach, rookie head coach, obviously. And then, wow, my boy just texted me asking if I wanted to go out this weekend. Might be another weekend of bad decisions.
Stay safe, my brother.
Oh, of course. But I think we're still seeing what he is, because if you look at new head coach, like I said, they bring in Devonta Smith as well, so that he's learning the offense. Goddard, he has to get familiar with him. They changed their offense. If you think about it, like kind of midway point through the season, they went from passing the ball out to running a lot more. It's been very effective. And Hurts, technically, if you look at it, is still not anymore. Actually, he's passed his rookie 16 games, I guess you should say. But still, he has about 18 games, 19 games under his belt. I just find it hard to judge it immediately because I know that we're all very much into we want people to be good right away thing
It's the
in today's
Herbert Mahomes
society.
effect.
Yeah, it is. Mahomes sat that year behind Smith. All of a sudden comes out, wins an MVP. Herbert comes in, breaks the rookie record for touchdowns. Then also this year throws for over 30 touchdowns again. First player in NFL history to do that. And it's just, I mean, even Dak, you look at Dak, came out, won about 13 games his first year.
Yep.
Obviously, that was helped a lot by the running game, but still, the quarterbacks get the credit for everything that happens in the NFL. We know that.
13-3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I believe they went undefeated on the road as well. So, listen, I don't know. I'm still giving him a chance, man. He's coming back from this injury. He's playing well this game. I mean, he's gotten Goddard the ball a lot, which is obviously one of their stars. I think he had over 95 yards last time I checked. I don't know if he's gotten any catches since then. Smith made a nice catch earlier in the game, but I still got faith in him, man. I still want to see what he can do. I just think he gives what the NFL wants now, which is, a dual threat. Obviously, he can do a lot with his legs, and then I think you can still develop as a passer throughout your years. I mean, you can look at Josh Allen. He's the perfect example. The bigger step is usually year 1 to year 2. And he said, yeah, never mind. Year 2 to year 3, I'm going to catapult myself into a near MVP conversation. And, he was in it this year as well. So there's always room for improvement everywhere. And I think the more snaps you get, obviously, the better you're going to get in the NFL, man. You can't go out there. This isn't one of the games where you can sit back and only study and do things, and you can all of a sudden become better. You have to go out there. You have to get hit. You have to see what the defenses are doing to you. You have to see how they're disguising them. And while you can see that on film, you still have to decipher it as it's coming at you. And he missed some games. He obviously didn't play too much last year. So I want to see where he goes. I'm not counting him out, I should say.
We got Corey in the chat. Hey, family. What's going on, brother? Josh Allen was 3 to 4, year 3 to 4, which has never happened. Not 2 to 3 like normal progression. What is this? This is year 4, right? 2018 draft?
Yeah, I thought this is year 4.
Yeah. But either way, you're right. Either way, however you want to slice it. It definitely took a while for him. He showed some promise. You got to remember they were in that playoff game against the Texans. I think his second year. He still struggled. The accuracy was definitely an issue, choppy in the pocket. And he just cleaned some of those mechanics up. And even when he came off the draft, if he was just able to clean those things up, the talent was there. And it looks like now everything is coming together, which, turns into it's a scary player. And, right now, they've had some ups and downs, but he's been definitely the reason why they've had a lot of success. And then for Hurts, like I get it. I get Eagles fans. They want to win now, but you gotta be patient a little bit. You have to. I mean, it's a young quarterback. Everybody's path is going to be different. Everybody's just because you're in the same league doesn't mean your journey is going to be the same. So you have to listen. I know it's you're looking at a lot of these other guys in the league playing well, like you said, Herbert, Mahomes, but it's also how you build the team around these young guys too. Herbert has Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, a solid offensive coordinator in Joe Lombardi this year, who's with Sean Payton for all these years.
Solid offensive line with Slater, especially now.
Solid offensive line that they rebuilt. Because last year it wasn't too great. He still played well. He was more mobile. He was more running around in the pocket, and they cleaned up that offensive line a little bit. Now you see him be more comfortable in the pocket. This year, I mean, for Hurts, it's gonna take a minute. It's gonna take a while. You can't expect him to be great, but it's gonna come down to how long the Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie, they're gonna be patient because you do have Deshaun Watson around somewhere chilling. You do have Russell Wilson in a kind of back and forth with the Seahawks, it seems like, and his future might be up in the air in Seattle. So when you got two of those guys out with potential options at quarterback in the free agency, yeah, it kind of brings a different dynamic to the discussion. And do you want to, put all your chips in the middle and try to go get one of these, top level guys that are proven and still have a lot left in the tank? Or do you want to wait and trust the guy that you drafted, help develop him, and maybe he could be one of those guys that a lot of teams want, like a Watson, like a Wilson, for years to come? So it's tricky, man. These franchises have a lot of pressure. The fans obviously put a lot of pressure on them. Philadelphia won a championship over the last few years. So all Hurts has to do is just control what we control. I mean, just continue to grow, continue to improve, and hopefully wherever he ends up, whether it stays in Philadelphia or maybe elsewhere via trade, he just makes the most of it.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Eagle game right now. This man Garrett Gilbert out here throwing blocks for people. They did a nice little end around. This man Garrett Gilbert was throwing blocks against the D end. I like what I'm seeing out here. He's throwing a little heart.
Yeah. Gilbert's a big guy. He's a big guy. I remember watching him. I believe he went to Oklahoma State or Oregon State, one of the two. But I remember watching him growing up. Like he's solid. Like when I was watching college more. Now he's solid. Could be a backup third string guy. But Washington, what they want to do, even if Heineke's in there, they want to run the football. They want to give it to Gibson. They want to give it to McKissick. They want to control the clock. That's when they've had their most notable wins this season. That's what they've done. And Philadelphia knows that. It's just going to come down to who's going to execute in the trenches. And right now, it looks like Philadelphia has done that.
Yeah, and I had to hit the quick refresh on the page because it didn't update very well. 20-10 Eagles now, and 17-10 the Rams are up, and that's the game. That's the game that's surprising me more. I thought the Eagles would win this game. I mean, I thought it would be a lot easier for them to win this game than the 20-10 at the one point. Like I said, they were down to 10-0. But this game was the Seahawks-Ram game was 3-3 going into halftime, and it was not very pretty. Stafford threw an interception. I knew that. And this is, you get into the whole part of who is the best team, conversation every single week. And I think everybody keeps wanting to throw the Rams in there because they should be there. And, they have so many pieces on their team. And by the way, I just looked at the stats again. I don't care what anybody says. This man, Cooper Kupp, is the best wide receiver in football. He has, just again, 9 catches, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns. Again. Last week he had 129. I think the week before that he had 123. So Cooper Kupp is basically uncoverable these days. But I digress. And I think everybody wants to throw the Rams in there because they should be the best team. Like I said, they traded for Stafford. They trade for Von Miller. They obviously have Jalen Ramsey. They have the best, one of the, probably when he retires, might be the greatest defensive tackle end or whatever you want to call him in NFL history with Aaron Donald. They trade for they get OBJ as well from, I guess, getting cut free agency type of situation, I guess you can say. But it's games like this where it's 17-10 against the Seahawks and where there was only 3-3 at halftime, where it's like, do I really want to put them there? But then it was games against, Arizona, where I'm like, okay, maybe they're showing something. But then again, Arizona just went out and lost to the Lions, which we'll talk about a little bit. So I struggle for this. I struggle where I rate the Rams, and I think if I have to put them somewhere, I'm to the point with them where I'm not shocked if they make it to the Super Bowl, but I think in my head I'm a tad surprised. I just don't think it's meshed. I don't think it's come together well, I think, because I think they've gone away from what Sean McVay really likes to do and run the ball and be a power run team, because now they have Stafford, so they know he's obviously an upgrade from Jared Goff. So it's hard. Like, I think I'm not shocked, but I'm still like, if they made it to the Super Bowl, I should be like, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too shocked, just for the simple fact that, like you said, I mean, even at the top of the NFC, it's really who's going to be hot during that time. I mean, the Bucs struggled this week. Like you said, the Cardinals struggled. The Packers could have lost to the Ravens without Lamar Jackson. So,
we got to get into that decision, CJ. I'm so sick of it.
Of course.
So sick of it.
So it's really a pick 'em out of those to me. Dallas has had their ups and downs, but when they're on, they could definitely make a run as well. So I think between those 5 teams, San Fran's been on a solid run.
Yeah.
Just gotta hope Garoppolo, remains consistent. Those guys stay healthy. So I think those 6 teams right there, 5 or 6 teams, I would probably say that have the best shot again into the Super Bowl. I don't feel like there's a clear-cut favorite, like we might have said maybe a month ago or something like that. I think any one of those teams could be playing at SoFi come February.
Yeah, the parity this year is something I don't think I've ever seen.
For sure.
Like I obviously
it's because of the quarterback play.
Yeah, it's the quarterback play. I think I don't know. There's just nobody separated themselves. It's so weird. Like usually at this part of the season, there's probably usually 2 or 3 teams that you look at and you're like, oh yeah, they're going to the Super Bowl. Right. And this year, like, I think I'm there with the Packers, but it's also to the point where it's like they disappoint you every single year. So it's that bias of like, am I going to put my heart into it, knowing that there's been disappointments in the past, I should say. But I mean, to the point where they're winning, they're 11-3 right now, I believe, too. Without Zadarius Smith, David Bakhtiari has been out, Jair Alexander has been out. So it's like, am I really gonna still say no when they're 11-3 and they're missing not 3 players? Like those are 3 people on that team that are all pro, perennial Pro Bowl great players. Like Alexander became one of the best corners in the league. Bakhtiari, we know, has been one of the best tackles in the league. And Smith, especially these past couple years, has really come on and been very good. So I'm kind of there with them. It's just with the Rams, it's so hard because it's like they made that all-star team. And, remember it back in the day, too, when the Eagles made the dream team, right? They had Vince Young, even though I don't know how that is ever part of a dream team.
Remember, he was the backup. It was supposed to be Vic. Vic was supposed to carry that team. Remember, Vic was there.
It?
Yeah, VY was the backup. Yep.
And then they traded for to sign that corner.
Nnamdi Asomugha.
Yep. Bro, loved Nnamdi Asomugha back in the day. Specifically just because that was his name. I had no other reason for liking Nnamdi other than that was his name. Yeah, and they brought in a bunch of guys and everybody was like, wow, this team is, great. And Shady McCoy's back there and they do nothing. And I almost get that way with the Rams because I feel like it's just too inconsistent. Like at this point in the season, you should be consistent. And I know everybody's lose games, but it's like, come on.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, like I feel you. Considering the talent, it was good, brother. It's good, Vic. considering the talent that they have, you would think so, right? You would think they'd be the 11-3 like Green Bay. But every team has just been up and down. Honestly, yeah, Green Bay has probably been the most consistent. I mean, take away that loss to Kansas City when they had Jordan Love.
Yeah,
other than that, they've been really.
I think
really
they blow out Kansas City with Rodgers.
They're not definitely would have been. I would have definitely picked the Packers in that game just because of how inconsistent at times we've seen Kansas City. But I feel like Green Bay has been, and that conference has been the most consistent. But then again, like you said, last 2 years they were right before the dance. They got there, and it just wasn't able to get it done and get into the Super Bowl. So will that happen again? We'll see. It looks like they're gonna have the number 1 seed again for the second year in a row, and we'll see how it plays out, man. They look good, and like I said, the Rams could beat them as well. But what you said about them going back to the run game, they need to do that. They need to establish some type of balance because one of the major things we said about Stafford in Detroit was that he didn't have a run game. Remember that streak they had of like games played without a 100-yard rusher.
Years.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't want to go back to that. And I think that's McVay's identity. You see Michelle start to play a little bit better here as of late. He's starting to really pick up the offense, and the offensive line is starting to play better. So if they're balanced, they have a shot with anyone, man. So it's, like I said, this NFC playoff run.
Oh my God.
It's going to be wild.
The Eagle backup tight end just got tackled at the legs and did a straight dive onto his head.
Oh, I'm about to watch it right now. I'm a little behind you.
Bro, there are some tackles, man, because they can't go up high anymore that you see and you just automatically cringe. I don't know how you fix it, because at this point, if you say you can't go low either, you're playing two-hand touch. But in a way, man, I almost feel like I'd rather be tackled up high than down low, because you're taking my knees out every play, flipping me over onto my head. I'm good, bro. I'd rather get popped in the chest.
No, yeah, definitely.
Easier to say though when I get to watch and I'm not getting nailed by Ray Lewis type people anymore.
No, well, no, you've seen players come out and say they'd rather get it up top than in the knees, because you make your money running. So if you're losing your knees and your lower extremities, you're not going to be able to play. Period. You get a concussion, you're out for a week. Tear ACL, you're out for the year. So any player will take the former at any time. Well, over time, which one will have more of an impact, as we've seen with some things that come out with the former players and things like that, CTE, things like that. Yeah, up top definitely, but that's a sacrifice you make when you decide to play this game. So you make your money running. So those guys would definitely rather get hit up top. And then also, I know these guys are coming in really fast, coming in at least 13, 15 miles per hour, but you gotta work on tackling too. That's coachable. That's coachable. Yes, they're not trying to go for the knees, they're trying to go for that thigh area, but you're coming in so fast, you're not trying to really be so precision. You're trying to get the guy down as quickly as possible. So it's a tricky game. It's a violent game. So that's it. That's what you signed up for.
It's tough out here, man.
Yeah.
It is tough out here. All right. I guess we'll go on. We will go over to the Sunday. No, I did it again, bro. The Monday night game. I always think it's Sunday.
Double header.
Yeah, we had the double header on Monday night, and we'll start off with the Vikings and the Bears.
Listen.
I was gonna say, I really don't have too much to say about this game, because I should have went to bed. At that point, even though it was only 8:00, I should have just went to bed or turned the game off and put on a Christmas song or something to watch. This is just hard to watch, bro. And here's my thing too, right? First of all, I know each team got to get their prime time. Listen, Bears, one prime time game a year. They get it on Thursday. They get it on Thanksgiving. That's the only time I want to see them on prime time, first of all. Second of all, this can't be a good game for the Kirk people, right? The Bears, I don't know if you saw the graphic they showed in the beginning of the game, bro. The Bears cornerbacks combined had 20 snaps in the NFL, because everybody was out for COVID or injury.
Right.
This man had 87 yards. 87.
Listen,
now you win the game, so
right.
that's all you can really ask for. But that's who you really want leading the squad into battle? Could you imagine what Aaron Rodgers and Brady and and all the elite quarterbacks that we think of are doing to a team with starting corners who have combined 20 snaps in the league, bro?
Oh, Kirk, he is who he is at this point. Listen, at Washington, we know the story over there in Washington. We know how dysfunctional it was over there. So you cut him some slack. You cut him some slack on that side. He gets the big contract. He got tagged three times in Washington,
Yeah.
So they didn't believe in him. And then Minnesota took a chance on him. They felt like they could make a run. They felt like they had a good year with Keenum, and if they bring in a guy like Cousins, he could help them make that push, to a possible Super Bowl run. And they haven't come close at all. Is it all on Kirk? No, but it's, a good percentage of it is. So.
One playoff win.
Yeah, like I was just saying, he is who he is, man. He's a solid quarterback. He can make plays here and there. He's been very fortunate that he has some really good weapons. Thielen was out last night, but Justin Jefferson was still out there. They still got some solid guys. Dalvin Cook is out there. Like I said, like I was telling our guy Corey, much like the Browns of New York. I'm not sure. I might be talking about primetime games, maybe. But
well, yeah, if we're talking about, I know the Browns deserve some. The Giants and the Jets, no, never should ever be on a primetime game ever.
But yeah, Kirk is just he's a solid quarterback, man. Definitely not top 10, not even close. And he's good. Like I said, he's good. Can he get you 30 touchdowns a year? Sure. But I mean, now in today's NFL where everything is so quarterback pass driven, that's mid. 10, 12 years ago, you had 30 touchdowns. You're like, whoa,
that's the
okay.
MVP.
Yeah. That's a phenomenal year. But when you got those guys on the outside and you got Cook in the backfield, so he's always going to be on the team. He's always going to be starting somewhere because he's talented enough to get that. But if you're counting on him to, be a guy that could get you into the playoffs and win a Super Bowl, I don't know. I just don't see it.
Ooh, Jalen Hurts with a little bit of a dot. Okay.
Top 10. Corey in the chat, top 10 with a heart.
Here's my thing, right? And this is the one thing I've always looked at Colin Cowherd for and been like, yo, that was one of the best points you've ever made in sports history, right? He says quarterbacks can either be the engine of the train or they can be the caboose, man. You're either at the front and leading them when you look at Rodgers and Brady their entire career, or you're getting dragged because everything has to be perfect around you. And listen, if you can win while being the caboose, congratulations, man, because you still won. You're going to get your flowers. Listen, I look at Eli as that.
100. I mean,
there's no way that Eli was ever the conductor. Although in those Super Bowls, those last drives, he made some plays. But are they in that position without the defense giving up, 10 points to the greatest offense in NFL history and, 17 points to another great offense? So, you know what I mean. But there's just some players that, like, even here, like, I think Baker should be able to stay in Cleveland because I think they forget very quickly that they had like 55 quarterbacks in a 20-year span. So I think Baker should stay there, but he's still the caboose. I don't think he's out there being the driving force of winning new games.
Right, but that's the thing.
When the situation is good around you and you can make enough plays to win the game, listen, it's the NFL. You're gonna get your flowers and you're gonna play. So it's never the thing of he shouldn't be a player in the NFL. Like, listen, if you want to talk about not being able to quarterback in the NFL, bro, go list like 15 quarterbacks, 15, 20 quarterbacks, and then list the rest of it and see how much of a cliff it falls off of. Because it's very hard to be a quarterback. So of course he is, but it's just the thing of is the player going to drag you there, or is he going to be the one that's not making the mistake to get you there?
Yeah, I guess we could just transition right to Raiders Browns because it kind of falls into the same thing. Even though Baker was out last night because of COVID, and Case Keenum was out as well because of health and safety protocols. It's tricky. I get what you're saying. Yes, they should be humbled a little bit because they haven't had a lot of consistent quarterback play since Bernie Kosar and Bill Belichick was there, 95. You know what I'm saying? This is like when I was 1, but
yeah, I wasn't even a thought process yet.
Exactly. So I get you, but this team is much more talented than anything they've had in the last 30 years too, outside of the quarterback. So if they feel like they could go get a guy like a Deshaun, I remember there were discussions last year like, would you take Deshaun? That's
where I'll draw the line with you. That's where I'll draw the line with you because if you can go out and get somebody established, I'm fine with it.
But you gotta make sure you get it, because if you don't and then you get Baker, it's like, and he's already a high character. Well, he's really that guy that's wears his heart on his sleeve. You should put it that way. So if you want to go out and you want to put the Mermans out there, like, yo, we're gonna go get Deshaun, we're gonna go get Russell, you better make sure you go get them. Because if you don't, then you have to okay, let's go back to Baker. We love you again. And that love might not be the same because he feels like, oh, you betrayed him or you let him down. So I don't know. Personally, he's probably gonna get the Cousins treatment. He's probably gonna get tagged.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna get tagged. Or he might take a reasonable deal where he takes less money. But either one or the other. Because again, look at Dak got tagged 2 years in a row before he got the bread. So it's like he's not gonna get Josh Allen type money. He's not gonna get, maybe Lamar Jackson type money. We'll see. We'll see if he gets the type of contract Josh Allen got. I don't know. He might get the pass this year because of the injuries around that entire roster. So he might get that pass, which I think he deserves. But you're saying what? Corey's saying what? I'm not sure what you're saying. What to, bro?
I guess the Lamar money. Because you said maybe not getting Josh Allen money instead of Lamar money, because I'm sure he thinks Lamar's going to get more than Josh. Lamar's getting paid. We know that, Corey. Come on, son.
No, I'm saying is he gonna get the type of money 45 annually? I don't know.
Baker,
I don't know. You saying yes? Okay. So
I think
I'm just saying.
Will.
Baker, no. Yeah, Baker, no. That's what I'm saying. Baker's gonna probably get franchise tag.
Oh no, he thinks you're saying that Lamar not getting paid.
No, I'm saying Lamar's gonna get paid, but I'm saying how much? Like how much is what's is he gonna be?
I think he'll get the same. I think he might get more than Josh, just because of the time he signed his contract at. I don't think, even if you think, and listen, we can go back and forth of who's better 85 times.
Right. Yeah. No, it's not really. It's just about the market, right?
Yeah, it's the part of when you get paid. Josh took a deal a year earlier, so now Lamar's people are going to say, "Oh, well, that's what he got in our same draft class." Blah blah blah. So we want this, and it's just the same. Like nobody is getting Mahomes money. I think. I don't think Lamar gets that.
Nah. Only one that's going to get Mahomes money in the near future is going to be Herbert.
Yes, Herbert's going to get the Brinks truck and the key to Fort Knox.
For sure. Yeah, that's about it. What did Allen get? 258 mil?
I don't know. I know he's in the 40s, I think, right?
He's probably in the 40s annually, yeah. But the main contract. So yeah, Lamar probably gets something around that ballpark. But yeah, again, like I said, for Baker, I don't see it happening in terms of getting that type of money.
No.
He has been hurt. He's struggled with some injuries this entire year. He has been banged up. I definitely see a tag in the near future for Mayfield.
See, here's the thing with the Browns too. Like going back to the point that you originally said, is I don't have a problem going out and getting a quarterback if you're trying to upgrade a place like Cleveland, who haven't had a quarterback in forever, like you said. If you go out and get somebody established, I think I have more of a problem with it if they're going to go into the draft and take a risk. Because at that point it's like, all right, you just had Baker, and now you're going to go into the draft and try and draft another quarterback. How's that worked out for you the past 45 years other than Baker? So like if they can trade for Watson, I would pack Baker's bags for him if they could get Deshaun or Russell. But like you said, they also have to get them, because at that point when those rumors come out and then all of a sudden you don't get him, Baker, he's already voiced displeasure before. I remember that one time he came out and said something about the training staff, and he's the recent things about how the NFL's handling COVID, and he's
very vocal guy.
Yeah, he's never had a problem saying what he thought.
Always works hard on his sleeve. So it's just they need to execute that if it were to happen. Burrow, maybe Cincinnati or Chiefs. Mike Brown. Very cheap. It was very cheap over the years. So they might not give him that deal, but they definitely should. They definitely should.
But, we'll find out. Only time is going to tell us the stories of those two. But we move on to, CJ, it's a shock because they got shut out. But in my eyes, it's almost not a shock that they won. Like, if they won this game, I wouldn't have been shocked. Because, bro, Saints own the Bucks and Brady. Like, this defense is giving him problems out the Wu-Tang, bro. Like they can't do. I mean, they scored 0 points. It's the first time he's been shut out in 15 years. And also,
Nick Saban and the Dolphins, 2006.
Yeah, but that was a road game, right?
I believe so. Yes, it was
because
in Miami.
I don't know if it's true, but I also heard someone say that it was the first time in his career he got shut out at home.
And I think that game against Saban was in Miami. Yeah,
I just can't believe, bro, that 22 years in his career he never got shut out at home.
I mean, he's the GOAT, like,
bro.
That was even before.
I understand he's the GOAT, but I mean, I'm sure Jordan had an overnight.
And that was also before. I mean, he already had 3 bowls by then, but that was before people was like, okay, like that was before they got Moss and all those guys. That's 2006. Yeah. So, shocker. But yeah, continue. Go ahead.
And, the thing I look at this game is too, of course, I think that this is where, and it almost, kind of goes into the Packer game as well, where everybody's like, oh, well, there goes the MVP because, Brady got shut out against the Saints or whatever, and Rodgers went into Arizona and won without, 11 starters or whatever. And here's my thing, right? I find Rodgers' win very impressive. I do. Like, how can you not? But I think there's also a very big difference between practicing all week, knowing 11 people aren't going to start, and then going into your game. And by the second quarter, you went from Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Leonard Fournette to Tyler Johnson and Scotty Miller. Like, it was crazy because they weren't doing too much, even with them in the game. But once they left, I was like, oh, there's no shot. Like, once Mike Evans and Godwin went down, I was like, oh, there's no way. Like, there's no way.
There's no way what they're going to win or score?
No, not they're going to win. I still
that's what I'm saying. It's like for them to still get shut out without, I mean, it's like.
The getting shut out part is something that sticks in my head because I just can't believe it happened. But I definitely didn't think that there was much of a chance for them to win. But it's just, and, just listening to like ESPN and all the things and the stuff that gives the Bucks problems with the Saints is that they have a bunch of people that can win one-on-one battles. And, obviously when there's usually that one player on the defense, you can go, oh yeah, we'll double. It'll say Cam Jordan is the only one that could get pressure. All right, fine. You double team Cam Jordan. He's out of the game. Doesn't matter. But for the Saints, it was, they had pressure in Brady's face all night. There were you look at some of the routes the receivers were running, bro, nobody's open. Nobody. And the other problem that they have as well is, Malcolm Jenkins, who was a cornerback at one point, former Eagle, and now he's on the Saints now and everything.
Back on the Saints, yep.
Yeah, and he can cover Gronk, man. Like, he has the speed, he has the size to do it. So it was just that's their matchup, man. Like, so there are some teams that match up well with others, and it's like the same thing. It's like, if I'm the Chargers, I wouldn't want to play the, I know they beat the Browns early in the year, but like, all right, fine. If I'm the Chargers, I don't want to play the Colts. Chargers have a bad run defense, and the Colts, the only thing they do is run the ball. Like, that's a bad matchup. If the Chargers play a different team, I'd probably pick the Chargers to win almost against any other team. But with the Saints and the Bucks, it's like they have people that can win one-on-one battles against, their offensive linemen. And you look at Tristan Wirfs, man, who was probably not even rookie-wise, one of the best tackles in football last year. I think he gave up like 2 pressures the entire year last year. Like, he was unbelievable. Dude got bodied in this game. Like, he was getting destroyed in this game. So you have them losing one-on-one matches up front. You have, your 2 wide receivers get out of the game. So now you have Tyler Johnson, people like Scotty Miller, who the corners are just locking down. And then obviously you're going to go look at Gronk and be like, all right, my safety blanket, thank God you're here. And it's like, never mind, Malcolm Jenkins is there. So it's just a bad matchup, man.
Yeah, it's a bad matchup. It's a really bad matchup. If they get into the playoffs, it's going to be, Brady Daggers, 100%. They do a great job. Listen, Dennis Allen, man, I haven't really heard his name in these head coaching jobs coming up, but I feel like this game right here definitely is going to put him in the discussion. If you're one of these billionaire owners, when you need a guy, you need a defensive-minded head coach that with the ability to try to stop these high-powered offenses that we've seen over the last 4 or 5 years. He's definitely gonna have. I think he's gonna have a job this coming off season because personnel-wise, like you said, they match up extremely well against the Buccaneers. For one, you could put Lattimore on Mike Evans. Lattimore is 6'1", 6'2", physical. He can match his physicality. And Mike Evans, he likes to be physical. He likes to use his size. And like you said, you could throw Malcolm Jenkins on Gronk. They don't have a lot of speed. I mean, their speedy guys aren't their best receivers. Tyler Johnson, Scotty Miller, those guys aren't their best. Those aren't their best guys. That's why Antonio Brown, he's a speedy guy, and he's a best possession guy.
After the game?
Oh, well, of course. I mean, especially now, Godwin tearing his ACL and being out for the season, that's tough. That's a tough loss on a hit where, again, like we talked about. I mean, people said it was dirty, but it's like, I mean, listen, man, it's so easy to say, but when you're in the battle, in the play, you're just trying to get the guy down. So, people call it dirty. It's just tough. It's just football. It's gonna happen. I don't think he was intentionally trying to end his season. You know what I mean? But yeah. So yeah, you could throw Lattimore on Evans. You could throw Jenkins on Gronk. Gardner Johnson's done a really solid job. They have a lot of other really good corners that match up well. And Godwin, Evans, those are their possession. Gronk, they're possession type receivers. They like to use their physicality, get to the spot. Brady throws the dot. Here we go. If you're disrupting the rhythm of Brady, and you got Davenport and Cam Jordan getting the time, and you get him off his rhythm, you got to take him down, and he's gonna get sacked. He's gonna get pressured. He's gonna start dancing in there, and that's always been the formula to stop him. Talk about those Giants teams. They did the best job of that during those Super Bowl games. Against Tom. So Eagles did a great job of that. And all three of his losses, that's why, I mean, even though against the Eagles, he threw
500 yards, took an L.
Right.
Thanks, but then Bill sitting Malcolm Butler.
True,
for no reason.
But then that last drive, Brandon Graham got some pressure and Brady fumbled, and that was it. It was clipped after that. No game-winning drive. So that's the formula. That's the formula to beating the Buccaneers. I mean, I feel like they're the only team that can really do that. You got to have the right personnel to do that. And if they get it's just their offense is so bad. Quarterback. I don't want to say a quarterback is so bad. I mean,
honestly, I'd say offense besides running backs.
If Jameis was there, they'd be a threat. I mean, you gotta give Sean Payton a lot of credit. No Michael Thomas. Your number one guy, call him slant boy all you want, but I mean, dude was catching 100, 120 a pop when he was healthy. So you know what I mean. So he's doing something right. He was a slant every play. Then fuck it, you know what I mean. Like, but it was working.
1,500 yards is 1,500 yards.
Yeah, it was working. So you don't have him, then you have Kamara
got out for a little bit.
Kamara's was in and out of the lineup. Then Jameis goes down with the ACL. Simeon plays and kind of treads water. Then Taysom Hill comes in and he has solid moments, and then there's moments where he looks like he shouldn't be out there under center. So Sean Payton, you gotta tip his hat for them to even be Michael Strahan. It's a guy, bro. It's definitely a guy. You got to give Sean Payton a lot of credit for the work he's done for this first year post Drew Brees, and if they can somehow get in this playoffs and they see Tampa Bay, it's going to be tough because even in that divisional game, Brady was struggling. It's just Drew Brees made more mistakes. Remember, they had the Jared Cook fumble.
Did he throw like 4 interceptions?
Now, he threw 2 interceptions, and then Jared Cook fumbled. So they had 3 turnovers in that game. But Brady definitely didn't play his best game. That was probably his worst game of the playoffs.
Nah, I go last year. Game.
Well, but he had a good first half against Green Bay.
Yeah, but he tried selling.
Yeah. He in that second half threw picks. Yeah, he was definitely selling. But I mean, throughout the course of the game, Brady had a couple of good drives here and there against New Orleans, but it wasn't stellar by any means. They were really running the ball. Leonard Fournette was doing his thing. Leonard Fournette now out with the hamstring. They just picked up Le'Veon Bell. I mean, it's a nice name, but he hasn't really done much in the last 2-3 years. So I don't know. I see a lot of Ronald Jones getting a lot of the carries. He's struggled. He's had some fumbling issues here in certain key moments. So, how is he able to, excel in that new role, kind of being the primary back now? We'll see. Getting Antonio Brown back is huge. It's a big time pickup. It's such a luxury to have to get him back of all things. Like you lose Chris Godwin and then you get AB as your replacement. Like wow, So AB is one of the best, and he could kind of do some things where you look at that game last year when they got blasted by the Saints on Sunday Night Football, 35-3 or something like that. The only receiver that was playing well was Antonio Brown. That was like a second week there, and then in the offense. So that's going to be a big pickup. He's able to stay healthy, able to keep his mind right, make the right decisions off the field.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah, that's the hard. It seems to be the hardest part for him. He's going to be successful, and Brady's going to lean on him a lot. So, this loss was a big loss for Tampa Bay, in my opinion, because for them to get shut out at home, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing,
Yeah.
and you got to give the credit to Dennis Allen coming in, playing head coach for a week when Sean Payton's out with COVID. And I mean, again, this team is really good. I mean, they have a really good roster. It's just that guy on the center is not it right now. And if you're Mickey Loomis and those guys in the front office, like, again, same. If you're looking at Russell Wilson and some of these other guys that could be available, I'm going after it because it's only but so long you get a window like this of having a really good defense. Defense's window is much smaller than obviously a quarterback's window.
Oh,
so.
Yeah. Legion Boom was supposed to be the next defense for the next 10 years.
Right. They only lasted about three good ones. Yep. And then guys started getting hurt, and then everything went downhill from there. So
and Earl Thomas out here flipping off Pete Carroll.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Everything. It's spiraled out of control. So they need to go get a quarterback that they need to go get a good quarterback, consistent guy that could help them win some games. If they're able to do that, they're going to give Brady some fits before he hangs it up for sure. And in the NFC.
Well, we speak of the NFC, and I guess we should go to the leader of said NFC, and that was the Packers and the Ravens game. And listen, I know we could talk about the game, but I'm CJ. I want to skip to the end, bro. I got to. Listen. First of all, Huntley, man, might be playing himself into a job somewhere. Now I don't know where that is, but it's possible that the man is playing himself into a job for sure. But here's my thing, right? You go down the field, you score, cut the game to 7. Your defense comes back onto the field. They get a stop against Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, everybody. And not only a stop, but they barely even moved that possession. And then you come back onto the field as an offense. Your backup quarterback who has kept you in this game, and not only kept them in the game, but like I said, very, very possibly can win this game. You score the touchdown. Bro, can we please stop with the going for 2 stuff? Like, I understand Harbaugh. Oh, yeah, I want to trust my players. Bro, if you ask your player anything, he's going to say go for 2. He's going to say go for it. It's the exact same thing of, what's it called? Oh, are you injured? No, I'm good.
Right.
No, you're not.
Especially for like concussions type too. Yeah.
Exactly. Of course, go win the game. Yeah, they're going to say, let's try and win the game. Bro. And then here's my other thing. What kind of play call is that? And, and just listening to people talk about it.
Please play it on stream. Of course, go win the game.
Hearing people talk about the play call too. The popular thing saying that is, oh, you cut off half the field. No, you didn't. You cut off 2/3 of the field because you were passing it to Mark Andrews no matter what. So wherever Mark Andrews ran is where the field was cut off. And he runs to the exact pylon of the football, of the end zone, I should say. So you had about 5 yards to make a throw. So first, and here's the other thing too. The touchdowns that they had scored recently were with Huntley running around and making plays. Man looked like Jamar Laxon out there.
Jamar Lax. I'm crying.
So, and here's the other thing too, right? This is probably where the backup, quarterback thing comes into play. I don't know if you looked at that play again, James or CJ. Bro, this man, Hollywood, wide open in the back. Wide open. Throwing his hands in the air like he just don't care. And I understand that you probably went to that huddle and said, listen, you're only allowed to throw it to Mark Andrews. Sometimes you got to look up, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, listen. I've seen Corey saying on the color cast, please play it on stream. Now the argument is the play. Play calling was the issue. Not going for it. Yeah. I think it was both. I think it was both, man.
Listen, the play call is terrible, so it just adds on to the problem. But going forward is still stupid.
Yeah.
Gut, analytics, whatever you want. I don't care.
I know they've been decimated with injuries, and you don't want to continue to lose guys as you're going later into the season. I get it. But I mean, it's not like you have for me, it's like you have Tucker, you have the best kicker in the league. So just kick the point after and just see what happens. The defense played solid. For them to come back, they were down 14 and then they came back. And like you said, Huntley had the 2 touchdowns. So just run it back. And then the play on top of that, it was bad. I'm really not a fan of those rollouts, especially in the red zone. In the red zone, it's terrible. It's terrible. You see a lot of college teams do that, but in the NFL, it's just not. It's not a great formula for success. And if you're just going to go to your primary read off that rollout, and there's not a secondary route. You said Hollywood was open. I did see the replay. He was open, but for him rolling, he's probably, if he wants to get a good throw, he's probably going to have to stop and then throw it. And then who knows? Maybe a defender gets there in time. And he hasn't been great in terms of clutch catching this year for Hollywood. So, and that's what I'm saying. All those variables go into play. Where if you just kicked it and go to overtime, we're not. That doesn't happen. So it's just tough for the Ravens, bro. Where it looked like they had the North locked up, easy, even despite some losses. Now if things really spiral out of control, they could definitely miss the playoffs. So they had 2 opportunities to kick the PAT, playing the OT, and they try to go for the win. I like the moxie. I like the confidence of John Harbaugh. I mean, but you're confident in your team that's decimated with injuries. If they got Dobbins and all these guys and playing out there and they're out there, then cool. But the team doesn't have anybody out there that a lot of those guys not even going to be on the team, next year. The dude that was covering Devontae Adams on the touchdown had barely played. They got him off the street. So, I mean, listen, I know Harbaugh is a confident guy. He's a Super Bowl winning head coach. But for me personally, I would have kicked the PAT and played for overtime. You can't pick and choose when you want to use analytics. I mean, I'm not picking and choosing. I'm just saying. I
think I know he means the franchise. And listen, if that's your argument for using analytics ever, I'm good. I'm good, bro.
Falcons on the 4th and inches instead of sneaking it. Pitch it backwards 7 yards. That's dumb. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the thing. I mean, if you go with analytics, you got to make sure the play call is right. You know what I mean? So it's like it's just even more pressure on a team that on these guys calling the plays in certain situations. So it's a tricky game. It's a tricky game you play when you play the analytic game. It does help in certain situations. I'm not completely discrediting it, but it's tough. It's tough, man. And for the Ravens, you could say it's 2 L's. They got 2 L's because of it. And we'll see what happens in the rest of the season. We'll see if Lamar can stay healthy. His injury status should be back next week with the ankle sprain, not a high ankle sprain. They're saying it's an ankle sprain. So it's a lot on the line for that team right now. I know they've been decimated with injury, so a lot of fans will probably look at it as a pass or a pass year. But it's just tough for Baltimore. But Green Bay, they had to execute. They had to get the stop. Eric Stokes made a good play. Corey said the safety came down, made a solid play as well. They almost folded the game, and there would have been a whole different discussion about how Aaron Rodgers lost to a backup quarterback. You know what I mean? But They made the play on defense in that 2-point conversion, and now they're 11-3.
But that's my listen. I don't know. I've never been analytical. I think it's vastly overrated. Here's my thing. The analytics should be saying, okay, if we do this, this is what's going to happen. This is the chances, blah, 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 whatever. I should be able to look at that and then make a decision. Not, oh, we're an analytical team, so that's what we're going to do no matter what.
I think teams probably do what you said first. I think some the good ones. I think the good teams do. The good teams do.
I don't know. Man.
If you're just playing,
play,
if you're just playing just strictly off, analytics, then I don't think that's the formula for success, because there is just situational football in the game itself and how things are going on. So just to go straight to the numbers, it's not always the best thing.
Here's my thing too. So you're going for 2, whatever, because you want to win the game at that moment. Why wouldn't you go in? All right, so you go for 2, right? You don't get it. You now know you automatically just lost the game. Automatically. So you're giving yourself a 50-50, right? Why wouldn't you kick it going overtime, and then there's a chance that anything can happen other than one play deciding an entire game? That's what doesn't make any sense to me. This is not a situation where they were obviously they have to go for 2. They're down 2, so they have to do it, and then you lose the game. Okay,
right.
That doesn't. But you're going for 2, and here's another factor to get into it. Right? There's 45 seconds left. Aaron Rodgers has a timeout against that defense that you obviously have no faith in, because if you had faith in your defense, you're kicking the extra point. So you have no faith in your defense, and you're giving Aaron Rodgers 45 seconds and a timeout to just get into field goal range. How many times has he done that? I don't know, 50. So I don't. Listen, you can
situational.
Try and convince me. You can sit here and try and convince me however much you want. That is so stupid. It will never make any sense to me. If this game was 45, then it makes sense, because that obviously means no team is ever going to stop. Your team literally just got to stop against Aaron Rodgers in this offense to put you back onto the field, and you go down and score. What happens if the Ravens won the coin toss? They could have never even given the ball back to the Packers. Ever.
That's true. Corey says in the Colorcast chat, if I told you you will win 52% of the time, every time you do it.
That's what the numbers say, that if you go for 2 in that situation, you'll win 52%.
That's literally almost 50-50 though, bro. It's like 48%. It's a 48% chance you're not gonna get it. So it's like 2% off 50-50. So it's like this is 50-50 chance, really. Yeah, it's tough. It's like I said, it's situational, man. It's all situational. Listen, if the Ravens somehow miss the playoffs,
that's 2 games that they've lost. By the way, going for 2.
That's all people are going to talk about. I know. Maybe the numbers are gonna, say what they want to say. I get it, but
I'm not picking and choosing. I'm saying that analytics are stupid. There, I chose.
If the Ravens miss the playoffs, bro, everybody's gonna talk about those two plays right there, man, hands down. And it's just a tough situation. Just
going forward on 4th down is completely different than going for it with 0 seconds basically on the clock, and you need it to win the game. I'm sorry, bro. That is completely different in my eyes.
They beat the Chiefs that way. Yeah, like I said, listen, bro. Like, just because it was successful doesn't mean I agree with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. All the same.
That's still completely different to me.
So I have to agree to disagree. To some, 2% is good. Yeah, exactly. To some, yes. All right, let's transition to the Falcons and the 49ers. Just another dominant performance. The 49ers are 8-6. I remember in the beginning of the season, I think we were like 1-3, 1-4, or something like that.
Definitely not good, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, definitely not good. People were saying, it's time to put Lance in there. Let's see what the young guy could do. And, Garoppolo gets healthy, and And here they are. The whole entire team is healthy. Here they are. Not Joey, but Nick Bosa off the ACL is having a hell of a year. People putting Parsons, TJ Watt. I mean, he's right. He has to be right there. He has to be right there in the discussion for Defensive Player of the Year. I think he has 15 sacks, easily most definitely comeback Player of the Year. I think a lot of people had Dak, but I think
Dak's been mid.
Yeah, he's been mid over the last month and a half or so. So I think you got to give it to Bosa. 15 and a half sacks coming off the ACL. Just having an excellent year. Offensive line is stout. Debo Samuel's like, what is he? A running back, a wide receiver? Doesn't matter. Wherever you put him, he's going to make plays. He's been an extreme weapon for them in the 49er offense. And they're playing good football. 2 games above 500. We expected 3 out of 4 of these teams to be really good in this division. And it's really playing that way. I mean, even though the Cardinals have struggled, they've lost 2 in a row, but it's still a solid football team.
They 10-4, they're around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're going to be in. And I mean, I don't know what's going to happen in this Rams-Seattle game, but if Seattle somehow wins this one,
I believe that game is ended. I will tell you right now.
Okay.
20-10, Rams took the win.
Took that one. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, if Russell missed 3-4 games?
Yeah.
With the finger. So I mean, that division is stout, man. That division is really good. And I think for the 49ers to be here now, they got a couple games left, 3 games left, and they're playing really good. They're playing good. I don't think a lot of teams want to see them come playoff time. I really don't. What's your thoughts on this one? Well, actually, what's your thoughts on the Niners and how do you see them come in this playoff race, man? I mean, we talked about some of the other teams.
I was going to say, I was right on the verge of it, CJ. I think you'll wholeheartedly agree with me. And honestly, this might be one of the best points I've made in the history of the show. 49ers, NFC Colts.
Yeah, I think Garoppolo. Yeah, but I think Garoppolo is better than Wentz. But yeah, same identity.
Oh no!
I know you're taking your guy, but I mean, listen, bro. I mean, we'll get to the game, but if we don't turn the ball over 3 times, what are we talking about? When we talk about Carson, we can talk about Jonathan Taylor rushed for over 100 yards, and Carson Wentz only had 57 yards passing the football. You know what I mean? So
I gotta stick with my guy, bro.
No, I feel you.
My identity, man.
I feel you, bro. But he's all right. He's all right. But Garoppolo did take them to a bowl. They lost, but he did get them there.
And he's the reason they lost.
Oh, he's the reason they lost. Yeah, sure. You can say that.
Well, listen, quarterback or not, I think this is literally the NFC Colts.
Yeah, they have the same identity for sure. That's what they're going to do. The same things.
They're going to play solid defense. They're going to run the ball, and they're going to pray to Jesus or any God above that their quarterback doesn't make a mistake to ruin what they've been doing so far.
Yeah, when they have a lead, they play well.
Oh, absolutely.
When they don't have a lead, it's kind of like people say Patriots too. With Mac and things like that. If they don't have a lead, is Garoppolo the guy to carry them and get them out of a funk? If they're down 14, 17 points, do they stick to the same game plan to get them to tie it up? Do you rely on Garoppolo to throw the ball 40-something times to win the game? That's going to be the question.
That's a little dicey.
Right. And it's the same thing with the Colts.
Stop it. Wentz was 13-3.
He was 13-3. He was 13-3. Nah, he was. He was.
Man was going to win the MVP. Nick ain't carry him to nothing.
Yeah. It's such a weird dynamic for that, bro. So and they
gave that man a statue.
Then he gets. I mean, you have to. It's their first championship ever,
bro. But imagine. All right. Hold on.
It was the Philly special, though, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, that's
all right. All right, but CJ, hold on. Imagine you work somewhere, right, and you're married for like 7 years, right? You get a divorce. You come in the next month because they gave you a month's vacation for doing such great work. And your ex-wife got a statue in your office. Come on, bro. Come on.
I mean, listen, I get it. I get it.
They couldn't have made a statue of an eagle flying with a ring. Come on.
Nah.
He said
nah,
no.
they weren't with it, bro. They wanted to do that Philly special. That was a big play. That's gonna go down in history for them, bro. You gotta make that a statue. You had to. But again, once he got an opportunity to get a statue over there in Lucas Oil, man. If he plays better than how he played on Saturday, so
next Peyton Manning, of course. No, I'm kidding.
Let's try to get the luck first, like before we get the Peyton. Let's try to reach the luck. Maybe Phillip first. You feel me? Last year, Phillip.
Come on.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
Hey, if he wins one playoff game, he's better than he passes Phillip, right?
Hey, yeah, for sure.
Okay,
definitely.
Philip Rivers, Cole, legend. But yeah, I think the 49ers are a team that nobody really wants to play. This is the type of football that a lot of teams play in December and January that nobody else likes. We see it across the league. The Packers have Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. They can start running the ball now in these 10-degree weather games where you can't feel your fingers and nobody wants to catch a rock hard ball. You look at the Patriots all those years, back when they had LeGarrette Blount and people of that nature where they could run the ball and just pound it and other teams would tire out. It's just a situation like that where I think if the 49ers are going to keep playing this way, it's exactly what we said, CJ. It really is. Are they gonna play well enough on defense and run the ball well enough that Jimmy doesn't have to make a mistake? And if they play that way, they're going to be like this. I wouldn't want to play them. Like, why would you? This is a team that's going to beat you up in the trenches and then just try and wear you down because you keep running the ball. Let me tell you something. That fourth quarter rolls around, you got defenders, breathing in the oxygen masks. So that's the type of team the 49ers want to be, and Shanahan knows that. So how deep of a playoff run can they make? Listen, this year, anything. I have no idea. This year, anything can happen. So, do I think they do? Probably not. I think they run into a Packer team or a Buck team that I think that because listen, they play the Bucks. That's the best run defense in the league, and they run the ball. So that's what we talked about earlier, in the show with matchups. So it's all depending on who they play, but I think the 49ers are obviously going to I think they're going to get into the playoffs. And I think they have a chance to win a game. I mean, why not? Let me do a little research here, CJ. I'm a little curious at the NFL playoff picture at the moment. Let's take a little gander here. I'm clicking on the link as we speak.
Might be the fifth seed.
They are the 6th seed.
6th seed.
So right now they're playing the Bucks.
It's a hell of a game.
That's a one and done in my eyes. The 49ers want to run the ball and the Bucks hold everybody to like 5 yards rushing a game.
I know. That's a hell of a game though, bro. I don't know, man.
I would have the Bucks by 15.
I gotta see how these next couple of games play out, man. Because if the 49ers keep trending here and the Bucks are like, here.
Well, the Bucks play the Panthers twice and the Jets. So I think they might move up to 2.
Yeah, they're probably.
So then maybe the 49ers then play the Cowboys, maybe.
That's a great game, man.
I would like a Cowboy 49er game. That'd be good. I would be rooting my heart out for the 49ers.
That's a great game. That's a great wild card game right there, bro.
We got some good games in the wild card potentially. Like if it literally can't stay this way because the Patriots and Bills are going to play this week. But right now, the matchups would be Patriot Bills, Titans Chargers, Bengals and Colts. And then on the NFC side, it would be Cowboys, Vikings, Bucks, 49ers, Cardinals, Rams. That'd be
Cardinals,
fun.
Rams Part 3. I'm for that.
That would be fun, man.
I'm for that. Yeah, those sound like some really good games. Either way you slice it, I think just hopefully, there's no COVID doesn't get in the way of
Oh
these
no, man.
games. That's the thing.
That's
I feel like that's what's going to deter, the
that's the
excitement.
great equalizer.
Yeah, for real. Seriously, that's going to deter the excitement for these matchups because on paper, those
Because like
players
even right now, the Chiefs just put Kelsey, Hill, and their kicker on COVID. So, and they have to play the Steelers, who, if they have all those players, I'm picking the Chiefs. Without them, the Steelers defense is not bad, first of all.
Yeah, Steelers defense been carrying this whole team, bro. Yeah, I saw the game. It was like Najee had like 12 yards. I was like,
Bro.
in the whole game? I was like,
that O line might be the 32nd ranked in the NFL.
Yo, bro. That offense is wow.
You got Claypool out here, celebrating first downs, and it's a mess. But 49ers have a chance. Falcons, terrible. Move on.
Yeah, we got the Bengals and the Broncos next. This game was really close throughout the entire game. Teddy went out with the injury. Prayers up to Teddy.
Man, can't catch a break, bro.
Yeah, can't catch a break, man. They're right there as well in the mix, 7-7. Broncos definitely needed this dub. I was looking at the score, watching the game a little bit. Like Broncos got to find a way to win this game. I mean, Bengals have to find a way to win this game somehow.
Yeah.
Especially with the Ravens losing how they lost. They had to, and they did. And you got to give them a lot of credit. Nobody's going to remember the stats as long as you got the dub. So they somehow stay alive. In that AFC North, I believe they're number one, if I'm not mistaken, in the AFC North.
Oh yeah, yes they are.
Yeah. So that's just they're able to hold that down and win that title. I mean, that's a big time accomplishment for Zach Taylor and the Cincinnati Bengals, man. Because again, we talked about them, just kind of being, they're going to be good, talented, but we had them like 4-13, 5-12. We didn't have them winning a lot of games. Now they're 8-6, and they're playing really good football. So got to give them credit. We'll see how it finishes up for them. But not really too much to say about this game, man.
Nah, just a big win for the Bengals. Obviously, they need it. And I think the most important thing for them was everybody else losing. With the Ravens losing and the Browns losing, because I think if the Browns won, they would have dropped back out of the playoffs. Like they wouldn't even have been a wild card team again.
Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
because of how they beat, right? Because they lost to them, right? And early in the season.
With the Browns losing, that's huge for the Bengals, and they've sputtered a little bit on offense. Even in this game, Burrow was 15-22, only had 157, a touchdown. Mixon was 17 carries, 58 yards. Like there was nothing crazy going on. Obviously, a real defensive game in this one, as you can tell by the score. But even like Denver had 292 total yards of offense, and Cincinnati had 249. So this was clearly a defensive minded game, but very important for the Bengals to win this one. And, the Broncos obviously take the L in it. So tough on them, but we'll see what happens moving forward.
Yes, we will. And then we got the Cardinals and the Lions. Definitely a shocker. Arizona really came out flat, and Lions came out when you least expected, played really solid football, complimentary football. Goff played solid, able to get that win. They've got both of their wins have come at home, so they definitely feel that energy playing that Ford Field when they get the chance to, play in front of their home fans. And I think the Cardinals probably thought like, okay, cool, we got the Lions coming up after that loss against the Rams.
Right game.
Yeah, get right game. We get right. We just blow past Detroit and we'll be straight. Everybody will stop talking about us, but that didn't happen. DeAndre Hopkins out for the season, regular season, possible return for the playoffs. So we'll see how that plays out in terms of some of their outside weapons. Those guys have to step up. AJ Green, Christian Kirk, Isabella, Zach Ertz, who they acquired in the middle of the season. Those guys have to start, playing some high-level football.
James Conner with a redeem year.
Yep, James Conner as well. I believe Edmonds might be back soon. I think I might have seen that recently. And then Kyler has to step up as well. So just that very disappointing loss for the Cardinals. And then Lions. It's like they're winning, but it's like I don't think the fans really want them to win that much. I think they probably want to get a good pick here, but I don't know.
Want to hear something astonishing?
It's not going to matter though because they're not going to get a quarterback. So
the Lions last 6 games 2-3-1. Cardinals 3-3. So it's been a tough little stretch for the Cardinals out there. And here's the thing too, right? I don't know if he will, but I'm hoping for it that Dan Campbell is the one that gets the Lions out of hell. I don't know, bro. I love this dude.
Motor City Dan Campbell.
Man, with the biting the kneecaps on the way up. And you can tell, like, here's the thing. Like, the Lions are bad, but do they play hard, bro. Like, they've had a lot of losses this year, that were close games that they had a very, very good chance at winning.
Even their tie against Pittsburgh.
And here's if you can do this with the trash team that they have, get them some talent, bro.
Oh, they need
some talent in that room.
They got to get a quarterback.
Oh, of course.
They got to get a quarterback. That's the only way it's gonna work. I know they had Stafford, but
I almost in a way think that that's the last thing they should do, though. I think you get to the point of Goff is at least mid enough to win games, but if you can,
what's his record? What's his record without McVay?
I understand. I completely understand. But listen, all right, you also got to think before that it was Jeff Fisher, and then now he's on the line, so it is difficult to actually win.
Yo, what a break, bro.
This man had the roller coaster of emotions. He went Jeff Fisher to Sean McVay to the Lions. But hey, listen, like I said, I think he's mid enough to win you some games, right? So you build everything around it. And then you kind of get into a Brown situation where some people think the quarterback is the one holding them back. Once you get into that spot, you can say, all right, listen, we got everybody. Jared Goff, thanks for your service and helping us go 2-11 to get all these picks. See you later, buddy. And then, you either draft the next great quarterback in, 4 years, or you make a trade for one if that's possible. And, because, who knows who's going to be good in 4 years? You never really
They're going to have to hit some home runs in the draft, bro. Because even though Detroit, you wouldn't say it's like a small market, but you don't, I don't think
Detroit.
Right. That's the thing. But
here's the other thing, too. I've always said this. Do people not want to go to small markets or things like that because they're a small market, or is it because they suck? Like, I think winning kills a lot of things, bro. Like, if you're going to tell me that the Lions couldn't get free agents as all of a sudden next year they went 13-3, you're telling me nobody has a free agent would look at Detroit and say, oh, yeah, I'll go to Detroit? No. I'm sorry.
You going? Are you going?
For a 13-3 football team? Yeah.
I mean, well, that's a big hypothetical because they're not going there.
No. Listen, I know Boston is a big market, but is Foxborough really that big of a market, bro? Foxborough? Really?
Right. Well, yeah.
That ain't the city of Boston.
But the equalizer was Tom. Tom was the attraction. They don't have that. That's what I'm saying.
But the Patriots also did a lot of winning. You're telling me people didn't look at that and say, damn, we win a lot. I want to go there.
Yeah, but they still didn't get, marquee guys.
Well, then again, was that also because Bill just wouldn't do it?
Yeah, I mean, it's Bill. It's the you got to play a certain way over there. You may not get the touches you're gonna get. You may not get the sacks that you got. It's a different type of sacrifice over there. Yeah, you're gonna win, but how are you gonna? A lot of people want to win a certain way. A lot of people don't want to win that Patriot way. A lot of people want to win a different way.
You're right.
That's a big thing. But I just think for the Lions, man, hopefully they got the right guys in terms of scouting, front office. That'd be a great thing, bro. I mean, we've never seen. I mean, they've had have some okay years here and there, but it hasn't been anything special, even having a talented quarterback like Stafford, talent wise. So hopefully they do well. I mean, I think I would make that division even better if somehow Fields becomes a guy in the Chicago, and if they're able to turn things around. It would be nice to see if Dan Campbell is the head coach when that thing starts turning around. I think it'd be great. Like you said, they play for him, unlike we saw the other guy down there in Jacksonville, and he brings a lot of energy. He brings a lot of energy to that team, and we'll see if it starts turning into some wins next year. But they got for them. They gotta hit on these draft picks. Cleveland, they hit on some draft picks. They got some guys, but they hit on some draft. Like they traded for Landry, Odell, and stuff, but they hit on some key draft picks. Especially
Myles Garrett.
There you go. That's why I feel like you could go get Thibodeau, bro. Say what you want. I mean, it's not a quarterback, but listen, Myles Garrett.
That's what I'm saying. You build first,
or Hutchinson. Right? Yeah, for sure. So we'll see what happens, man.
So we skipped the Bill-Panther game.
Oh, my bad. I skipped right past it.
Listen, let's be real here, CJ. All I got to say, Bills, they beat the Panthers. Congratulations. The Panthers are terrible. Cam sucks. I still think the flaw with the Bills is that they don't really run the ball besides with Josh Allen. And Panthers are going into a rebuild. So
I think a lot of people going into the season for Carolina. I mean, it has some really
no, there were expectations there. Sam Darnold was supposed to be good, even though everybody saw him on the Jets, and all of a sudden he was going to magically turn good again. I don't know what you guys were watching, but
100%, and it just didn't work out. I mean, he has an opportunity to salvage it. With Cam playing bad, he said they picked up the 5th year. Are they going to keep him? I don't know.
Apparently he's supposed to start next week.
Well, there you go. So it's all on him, man. I mean, I know he's probably not 100%. Listen, I'm just saying, I'm not disagreeing, bro. I'm still in New York, you know what I'm saying, for the last 3 years. I know he's not good, but I'm saying what's his mental like? You know, he could just lay down and be like, yeah, I'm ass, and you know, I'll just be a guy, or you know, I don't know what his mental's like. So we'll see what happens, man. But it's definitely a disappointing year for Carolina, man, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, we got, and then just quickly, Buffalo, like you said, kind of the same thing. It's a big game against New England, bro. Ooh. Big game. Oh man, sheesh.
You know that I was looking at ESPN, that stupid like BPI or whatever thing that they give, like the percentage chance to win.
Mm-hmm.
They got Buffalo 54% chance to win.
Listen, it's a big game, bro. It's gonna be completely different than that Monday night game.
Completely different.
Yeah, bro.
Which is what makes me a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
You know, we're coming off an L. They coming off a win, so they want to get that one back.
You got an extra day though, prep. You feel me? You played on Saturday.
Yeah, but
wishful thinking.
For sure. I mean, obviously, you know who I'm rolling with, but that's just going to be a big ass game, bro. They need to come out and wow. That's for all the marbles, especially in the division. I mean, you got Miami creeping up. Let's go right to it. Like 6 in a row, son. You know what I'm saying? Look, and then it hasn't been. They haven't really had the. I mean, the Baltimore was probably the biggest win, because after they beat Baltimore, Baltimore's been kind of trending down. So you could say that it's definitely their biggest win out of this win streak. But they've been playing really Patriot football. I mean, complimentary football, running the ball.
I mean, they got half the Patriot team there, so.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they coach exactly, and they just been playing complimentary football, man. Flores has seen, like you said, Bill do it for so long, and he's built this team this way, and they're 7-7. They're right there, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, they have a shot. I don't know what's gonna happen, but of course, it was a close game with the Jets. I was a little shocked with that.
Yeah, I was too.
I didn't expect it to be this close. But a win is a dub, and again, if they're able to get some talent on the outside for Tua It's gonna be a good
Is
team,
Tua
bro.
rewriting the things too, man? If you're the Dolphins,
Well,
are
yeah,
you still trading everything for Watson, or are you saying, damn, maybe we did have something in Tua?
it's tricky. It's tricky.
I don't know.
It's tricky, man. If they're able to get into the playoffs, listen. Obviously, yeah, I would still go with Watson. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Do you though?
I'd have to.
Because you got to trade like 4 first-round picks.
I get you. I get it. But then again, like most of the best draft picks aren't in the first round.
This is you make a good point. This
so
is
it's
true.
like if you get your guy, you know what I mean, at quarterback, and then you draft well in these mid-level rounds, which is where we see, like I said, is where we see the most talent end up having the most success. It doesn't matter that they won 6 in a row with Tua or
right.
getting the playoffs. So, but this is his audition for either Miami or somewhere else. And this is a big opportunity for him. Falcons, maybe. I don't know. Possible, but they're playing good. They're playing well, and he's a big part of that. Ever since he's gotten healthy, they've been winning these games. It's not like they're winning these games with Brissett or whoever they have as a third string guy. When he's there, when he's healthy, he's accurate. He doesn't turn the ball over. He doesn't make mistakes. And when their defense is playing the way they're playing right now, they're going to have a shot in every game. And then this is why they've continued to go on this win streak right now. Got to give them a lot of credit. Got to give Flores a lot of credit. Before it looked like when they beat the Patriots, like, oh man, like, they got that one win against us, and then they've been dirt, and now they kind of turn things around. So they're just a true testament to
a bad team. Let's go.
Right? Yeah. It looks better. It looks a little bit better. I'll tell you that. It definitely looks a lot better. You got to give Flores a lot of credit. He's a hell of a coach, man. He's a hell of a coach. I think a lot of people have some doubts about him a little bit, but he's a really good coach, and if they're able to get that guy under center right, they're gonna be formidable for years to come, no doubt.
I didn't even see this comment before. Come on, bro.
Gang Green, yeah, bro. I mean, I know you got a lot. I know Vic. I know you and your pops.
That loyalty goes crazy.
I know you and your pops, Vic. I know y'all got a lot of love for
I'm
Gang
praying
Green,
for you, bro.
It's just, bro. I don't even know what to say.
I'm
I don't
praying
even know what
for
to
you,
say,
bro.
I don't even know what to say about the squad, bro. I want to see the division competitive. I feel like it's 3 really good. It's really good team. Now I want to see it, bro, because for so long everybody was like, "Oh, Brady had the cupcake," and he played against. It was like Rodgers in the NFC North. It was like,
do we have cupcakes in all those Super Bowls, bitches?
Hey, listen, definitely not. Every single one of those games were close, but
right.
But in route to the Super Bowl, it was easy. It was easy, 6-0. You know what I'm saying? That's what people are saying. That's the narrative, which is fair. I mean, those teams were ass. But sure, yeah, definitely. But hey, I think now it's definitely much more competitive, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to who comes out on top.
CJ, we were in so many Super Bowls that last night when I was watching, Man in the Arena, that I couldn't remember which Super Bowl was next. I can't remember if it was the Falcon one or the Eagle one.
I think next one is Seattle, right?
No, they did see that. That was this episode.
I haven't seen it. Oh, it dropped last night. Okay.
Fantastic episode.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
They had Will Fork on it. Will Fork and Sherman.
Okay. Yeah, Tom did a good job with that, man.
Nah, bro, so good. Shout out you for the viewing.
I got you. Yeah, Tom did a great job.
But here's my thing, right? They go over all the Super Bowls. They even did touch on Deflategate a little bit in this one.
You have to. I mean, you have to.
Yeah, I'm just still surprised in a tad bit that since it's by him, he would want to go into something like that because I know it still has to piss him off. But he's
been kind of open about all. I mean, for him to go do the losses too.
Bro, I couldn't even watch. I watched those Giants ones, but I had to break them up into 2 parts, bro. I almost threw up.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm saying, right? I love this Man in the Arena thing. I still need a 30 for 30 though, because they're going over all the Super Bowls, but I need everything, bro. I need the Michael Jordan 10-part documentary type.
Yeah. Whoever gets everything, bro. Whoever gets that one, man, they're gonna get a lot of awards, bro. Because New England kept everything so close knit, so they're
Well,
gonna have to have
but here's the other thing too.
great relationship with Bill.
Bro, this Derek Jeter one that's coming out next year.
Oh, word. Oh yeah, I did see that. I did see the trailer for that.
Captain.
Captain, yeah, I did see that.
Because Derek Jeter, that man was here with it.
No, that's a fact.
Oh, New York.
Is his the man in the arena too, or is like?
No, I think it's more of like a Jordan thing.
Okay, because I heard LeBron and Tom are doing like the man in the arena type thing, and LeBron is supposed to do his like journey for his championships, which would be wild. Those would be wild too. So those would be some crazy episodes, especially that Cleveland year. Whew.
Bro, I nerd out when I feel like there's just because he's my favorite player. I just nerd out when this comes to stuff with him, bro. Like I don't like listening to other people really talk about football too much, like players breaking it down, because I find it kind of boring. But since it's Tom's talking about it, I'm locked in, bro. I am there, like breaking down. Like if he was one of the people on Twitter that would break down plays, I'd watch every single one of them. But it's some random dude that I've never heard of, so I just don't care. Even though they're very good at it. Like I said, I'm just, hard to entertain sometimes,
Nah, I feel you, man. I feel you. Yes, it could be a hard watch sometimes, but yeah, those Tom's done a great job with those series, definitely. Another series I would be interested in seeing too is the Tomlin AB Big Ben.
I needed 30 for 30 on the triple.
You know what I'm saying? Triple B's, the documentary. Steelers get this win against the Titans.
Triple mids.
Triple mids.
Vegas under. Listen, I know we'll get to the game, but I mean, first of all, it wasn't very entertaining. Has there ever been a team that's underperformed more than those triple B teams? Every year they were the Super Bowl favorite. It felt like every year, never even made it.
Yep, defenses weren't as good as it is now, but offensively, yeah, they should have been. They should have. I mean, they went to the AFC Conference Championship game against the Patriots. Yeah, it was not pretty. It was not pretty. But I think AB was out that game. Remember, that's when he got knocked by Burfict. But still,
well, I think there was another one too where Le'Veon got hurt in it, and
Le'Veon he got hurt during the game. Yep.
But I feel like they always stopped Bell, bro, because this man would just pitter patter in the backfield, and the Patriots would just stand there and wait for him to actually commit to a place.
Yes, 100%. So yeah, I agree. Definitely, offensively, they look dangerous.
Man, AB might have had the greatest 5-year stretch in NFL history.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's up. It's up there with anybody. It's up Rice, T.O., Moss. So maybe Jefferson might get in that. If he keeps playing a lot of way he's playing. Yeah, if he keeps playing how he's playing, man, he's gonna have a solid run here as well. So early in his career, but yeah, AB was on just a different level during that time, bro. But Titans take another L. When are they gonna get their guys back? Any word on Henry? I seen AJ Brown tweet, I miss playing football.
I thought that he was still playoffs.
Okay.
Julio went out in this game with a hamstring again, which, by the way, bro, I'm sorry. It might be time for the kid to hang it up.
Yeah, all these it's not gonna get any better. It's not gonna get any better.
He's hurt every year, and every year it's for longer. Like, it used to be like the toe. He always had a toe problem. Not a Rex Ryan toe problem, you know what I mean? But he always had a toe injury where it would be like 1 or 2 games, or like 1 game, but like the second game he would come back and it would affect him, but he would play. Now it's like hamstring 7 weeks, comes back for 2 games, hamstring 4 weeks. I'm like, damn, bro.
Yeah, he's definitely past his prime just because of the injuries, man. You keep having soft tissue injuries like that, it's not gonna get any better. It's definitely not. He was definitely a hot commodity during the offseason when it was time for him to get traded. But they gave him a second and a fourth.
So I don't even remember, honestly.
Not too bad. But for a guy to not have the production to match it, it's been tough. It's been tough, man. Hopefully he could get right for Tennessee's sake. AJ Brown, like I said, he tweeted out, "I miss playing football." I'm not sure when he's coming back. I'm not sure Derrick Henry's timetable. So if they're able to at least get Henry and Brown back, I think they're gonna be a scary team. They're gonna be a scary team.
Oh yeah,
100%.
the minute you get Henry back, the entire juju of the team changes.
Yeah, it just different life, new life if you get 22 back. But we'll see what happens. Then we got the AFC South.
CJ. Come on.
Yeah, AFC South showdown. Not even
showdown. That's a bold word.
Showdown. Between the Texans and the Jags. Tough watch. Jags.
What are the people that watched it? I couldn't tell you.
Who do you think is going to be the next head coach? Because when Meyer got fired, we didn't have the show. Well, the show was after. Before. So I'm hearing Leftwich from Tampa Bay, obviously former Jaguar. It kind of makes sense.
It has to be an offensive guy. It has to be. And that's the problem. We said earlier the Saints defensive coordinator should get another chance.
Right. I don't think Jacksonville's the place.
That's the thing. Not only Jacksonville, I think all the teams that are going to fire their coaches want to bring in an offensive guy. Like you look at the Bears when they want to bring in an offensive guy for Fields.
The Chargers with Staley. So
true.
It's there. Right. It's there.
Yeah, but did they go Staley because after the first year of Herbert, they were like, all right, maybe we don't need an all offensive guy to show him what to do because he's that great.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's a good.
Because with the Jags, Trevor certainly ain't putting up no Rookie of the Year competition here. So maybe, so it could be like let's get an offensive guy in here to see what's happening. I don't know.
You got Bieniemy. You got Brian Daboll.
I was gonna say Bieniemy.
Yep. Got Daboll from Buffalo.
Yeah, people like that I think are going to be the next head coach. I think it's just not going to be a defensive guy. I think you want an offensive guy in there, to bring in a new staff. Clearly,
of course,
and just sit down and work with Trevor, and do everything you can because if you're going to get right, it's going to be because Trevor brought you there, probably.
Yeah, 100%, man. You would hope if you're for Trevor, this is the worst year possible, and then things kind of go up steadily from here in his career. But they have to get that head coach right. They have to get that head coach right to develop him the right way. I know generational talent. That's what people were throwing out there, but it doesn't matter if you're a generational talent if you don't have the right pieces around you. It doesn't matter.
No talent around you.
Right, exactly. It just doesn't matter. Peyton Manning, generational talent, but you had the right pieces around him. You had Marvin Harrison. You had Tony Dungy. You had the right guys. Bob Sanders on the other side. Dwight Freeney, Robert Mathis. He had all these dudes. So they need to build that team the right way. Over there in Jacksonville, we saw the urban experiment. It failed. So they have to get this next one right. You can't just have a rotational carousel of head coaches for your young quarterback. It could damage him for sure. So hopefully they get this next one right. Shad Khan needs to really, I don't know. Talk to some football. Talk to Jimmy Johnson. I don't know. Talk to some football guys and get some advice on how to do this thing, bro.
Go get this man. Who was the Raven GM for all those years?
Oh, Ozzie Newsome. But he stepped down.
Newsome out of retirement, bro.
Hey, yeah, listen, yeah, I would throw a bag at him, bro.
Here's the thing, right? Your staff doesn't count against the salary cap. You're a billionaire, bro. You throw millions around like it's water.
That's why Urban got that bag.
Bro, go to Ozzie Newsome's crib. Say, listen, bro, I got a check for $50 million that with your name on it. I'm gonna need you to come out 3 years. Give me 3 years.
No state tax.
Warm weather. People retire here anyway.
Got to do it, man.
Listen, bro, you don't even got to come into the office. We'll do everything virtual for you.
Oh, yeah, they tried to get Tom Coughlin, but Coughlin's a head coach. He's not a builder of teams. It was different. So,
and that man's ancient and never adjusted.
Right.
You saw it. You saw it that he didn't adjust, when he was in the front office. He was out of there real quick.
Exactly. So, Khan. Yeah,
Ozzie's last gift to the Ravens was Lamar.
It's a big gift.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a big gift, man. So, yeah, I just, I like their jerseys are fire. If they could just get it right, man, over there. back to how it used to be. Like I said last week when they had Bernal and Jimmy Smith, Keenan McCardell,
That
those guys.
AEW money can't hold the Jags up forever.
Yeah. Him and his son. His son is CEO.
Yeah, bro, his
of the
son
Jaguars.
killing the pro wrestling game.
Yeah, exactly. But his son is also CEO of the Jaguars.
Is
so
he?
both, definitely. Yeah.
I did not know this.
Yeah, so both of those guys, they got to get it. They got to get, like I said, talk to
Bro,
Bill. I don't know, bro.
Ozzie Newsome, blank check, bro.
Yeah, talk to Ozzie
Blank
Newsome,
check.
Bill Polian that built those Colts teams and built those
Bro,
Bills teams
Louis
in the 90s.
Riddick?
Like Louis Riddick might be. Yeah, he's gonna get looked at. Maybe the Giants. Definitely, if I'm him, I'm going to the Jags because you have the quarterback solidified for elite.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not. My first time as a GM president of football operations not going to be the Giants, even though the Jags suck too. But at least there's no question at quarterback right
that's
now.
the first and second worst record in the NFL over the last decade. We just said the Jags and the Giants.
Yeah, I think you got to throw a bag at Louis Riddick, bro. You might have to.
I'm a little big Louis Riddick guy, by the way.
He's a big guy.
Love him on TV.
He might get the mayor. I mean, he's been in those circles. He was with the Washington football team, Eagles, things like that. So he has some experience. Browns. I mean, he played with Bill, so he kind of knows certain things. But that'd be a good look. That'd be a good look for him, bro. You get Riddick, you get Leftwich, and then you just see what's up. Yeah, so I mean, your car, send us a bag, bro.
Yo, listen, bro, I'm telling you right now, I've rebuilt many teams on Madden. How hard could it be?
Yo, Shad Khan, send us a bag right now. Get Louis Riddick, Leftwich. There you go. Maybe Bieniemy, whatever.
Yo,
I mean, they
get
both Super Bowl
Leftwich as the
noses.
head coach. Get Bieniemy as your offensive coordinator. and then go take the Saints defensive coordinator, sign him.
Hey, yeah, just I mean, yeah.
Get Ozzie Newsome as your CEO.
Got to get the right guys. That's the only way it can work. No matter, talent does not matter. It's just half the battle. It's just half the battle. So let's see what happens over there in Jacksonville. Honestly, same thing to be said about Texans as well. Truth be told,
a mess, bro.
They're gonna have the picks, but is what's this guy's name? He was in New England. Carousel. Nick Carousel. Is he gonna be? Can he build a team on his own? You know, get those right things over there. I mean, you hire a 65-year-old head coach that with no head coaching experience.
Yikes.
You know, obviously that's a filler. He may not be there next year.
True.
So yeah, tough for both of those squads, man. Tough for both of those squads. We got Giants, Cowboys. You know, Mike Glennon.
Long neck.
Three picks. 3 picks is throwing it to the other team. That one to Diggs. It's like he passed it to Diggs. It's like Diggs was the wide receiver. He threw him a touchdown. It was crazy.
I have no care for the Giants whatsoever. Like if it was up to me, the Giants and Jets would never be talked about ever again, until they did something. But here's my thing, and it's gonna come off as cowboy hater, bro. I do not see it with them, bro. I really don't. You scored 21 points against the Giants. You let the Giants were in this game and all the way until the end, literally until the end of the game. Dak has not been good. They can't run the ball anymore because Zeke is terrible. Like, I'm not that impressed with the Cowboys, bro. I'm really not. Like, they're 10-4, mainly because they get that Patriot vibe of getting to play this trash division. I don't know. I'm not impressed, bro.
Hey, listen, bro. It's a fair argument. It is. Offense definitely has been playing really inconsistent over the last 7 weeks. And the defense has really been carrying them outside of that Raider game. And they've been playing some really, really good football. Micah Parsons, Trevon Diggs, both of those look like that's a great duo for your defense for years to come. You know, you talk about Ramsey, Aaron Donald over there in Los Angeles. You know, the Cowboys probably hope they could get something like that, or something close to it, in the foreseeable future. So you got that solidified, and you know, you give Dak the bread, but he's gonna have to he's gonna have to play at that level. I'm pretty sure Jerry wants to get one more before he's getting up there. So probably wants to get one more ring before he sees the other side. And it's just real. It's just real, bro. I mean, watch his interviews.
Right.
Watch his interviews. He be talking about it, bro. So.
Or he's clipped.
Yeah. So hopefully they could do that. And like I said, they have the roster. They really do, but they just haven't been playing that way. Kellen Moore, another guy that may get some head coaching consideration. I think maybe not this year, maybe next year. Just because I think now the way the offense is playing right now might hurt his chances. Yeah, it's going to be definitely. But they're winning these. They're finding these ways to win. Now, what's going to happen in the playoffs when you go up against these top dogs? Like you said, they might see San Fran, they might see Arizona, the Rams. It might be one and done. Very possible.
First round exit, part 25. Here we come.
Yeah, it's very 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 possible. So the offense is going to have to get it going in these next couple of weeks. Have to if they want to show. Got to go into the playoffs with momentum. You can't be mid like you said and go into the playoffs and be like, oh no, we can flip the switch right now. It's playoff time. Yeah, let's work. Let's get it. Nah, it doesn't work like that. Because the team on the other side is thinking the same thing.
They flip the switch too.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to do the same flip switch. So you gotta get it going, and we'll see if they're able to do that. And then we got Saturday night football. Colts, Patriots. Great win. If you didn't catch us on Colorcast, Connie and I were broadcasting a game. Our first time broadcasting a football game. Had a great time with my guy, and first of many for sure. So all the people listen to us right now, Colorcast. Appreciate everybody. People that was listening to us on Saturday. Appreciate you guys as well. And also, for the YouTubers, people that's watching us on YouTube, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell for when we go live.
Sir.
Facebook, get the likes up. Make sure you share the stream as well. So, yeah, but this game, it was just turnovers, really. It was just turnovers and key moments. I mean, Mac had definitely his worst game of his career. He struggled. Turner had 2 interceptions, then the blocked punt that turned into a touchdown, and those were the turnovers that hurt them right there, because those, if I'm not mistaken, all those turnovers turned into points for the Colts. Maybe it's either two or three.
I think the Mac interception
in the third.
There was one where
the one in the third,
and they missed a field goal, didn't they?
Right. Yeah. Because he picked one off before the first half.
Yeah, that one didn't lead to points, did it?
Nah. They ran. I think they ran the ball and they just let the clock go out. But just either way, when you turn the ball over, it's not gonna be. It's not pretty, and you don't want to do that against a team that doesn't have, elite guys on the outside, elite guys in the backfield, and Colts came out. They just had more energy to start the game. They just had way more energy. You just saw the energy, the way they were flying to the ball, making plays. They knew this was the only game on tonight, and they wanted to make a statement against New England, and that's what they did. Jonathan Taylor broke out for that big run. That was a dagger run. That was a gut punch. That was a gut punch for sure. Hightower and Devin McCourty just had a bad angle. Both of those guys had bad angles, and JT took it to the crib. He had an excellent game. We know what they wanted to do, but nobody was able to stop it. I mean, again, outside of that run, I mean, it's 20 to 17. It's 20 to 17, but with an opportunity to maybe get a 3-and-out, they could get the ball back. But JT put the dagger in New England and sent him home. And a lot of people saying, can they win? A lot of people now, of course, this is a daily type thing with the media. Can they win with Mac? Is Mac the guy?
I only got 9 with him.
Yeah, this is Mac the guy. This and that. But I just feel like I just feel like he's gonna have ups and downs. He's a rookie. He's a rookie. And again, I like the way he fought back. You know, like I said, he could have just laid down and just kind of just started throwing more picks, but he put some solid drives together to at least get him in range to, you know, if the defense had got a couple more stops, who knows what could have happened after that? Because definitely the Colts offense was definitely playing some bad football. Carson had threw a pick. They were playing some stagnant football and looked like they was about to give the game away. So I'm happy. I think Mac played a solid game. Like I say, he didn't have a great first half. Third quarter in the beginning wasn't great, but everything after that was really good football. And hopefully he could just continue to work and just keep working at it, bro. Like I said, he's been a worker. Heard some great things about him. So not really not worried about that. I know people are saying, you know, the New England are frauds and this and that, but we'll see, man. We'll see how it happens in the playoffs. We'll see what happens in the playoffs. Like I said, this game against Buffalo, huge, big game. And if they want to win the division, they're gonna. This game is for the division. I mean, I know they play Miami one more time in Miami, which could also be a big game. But I feel like this game right here is for the division, and they have to come out at home and get that dub.
Because if the Bills win this game and then both teams win out, the Bills still get the tiebreaker. So that's obviously the big important thing. But like you said, yeah, it was the turnovers, man. You think about it, it's the block punt, you take that away. Yeah, maybe they go down and score anyway, but that's at least 7 points were scored. So that's 7. Going into the half, Mac throws the interception. That's at least 3. The other interception that actually did lead to a field goal, I looked at it. That's 3 points. So what? You're up to 13. I mean, you take 13 points away, and look what happens. It's a tie game, right? No, Patriots win the game, basically. Yeah. So it was just bad all around, you know. And you have drives going. You know, we were talking about during the game, like you said when we were broadcasting it. You know, they would have a nice play, and then all of a sudden it's a holding penalty or this type of penalty or that. And you know, you look at the game stats at the end of it, and the Patriots had 8 penalties to the Colts too. They obviously had the more interceptions, the blocked punt. So it was just a sloppy game all around, and it's something that you obviously don't see out of the Patriots very often. They kind of pride themselves on not playing like that. They let the other teams make the mistakes. And well, in this one, they were the one that made the mistakes. And, you know, we kind of forget it because they are 9-5 right now, and Mac has played so well, and he's kind of run away with that offensive rookie of the year thing that, bro, he's a rookie. Like, he's going to have games where, you know, it doesn't look very pretty, and you have to, you know, learn to deal with it because not every game that he goes out and plays is going to be the best one that he's ever played. And, you know, we forget about it too because, you know, we always talk about Jonathan Taylor. The defense is disrespected for the Colts, man. I mean, they lead the league in takeaways. They have the most.
You could say Jonathan Taylor was the best player, and then Darius Leonard definitely second best player on Saturday.
Absolutely,
easily. That dude was
Darius
all over
Leonard
the
is one of the top 3 linebackers in all of football.
Definitely, yeah, for sure.
I mean, you look at him. They got studs over there. They got Moore. You know, their corner has been playing very well this year. You forgot that they have DeForest Buckner, you know, up in the front as well. Obviously made his name with the 49ers, then got traded over to the Colts. But it was a sloppy game, man. And you obviously hope that it doesn't continue because, like you said, this next game is for the division up against, you know, the Bills at home. It's luckily at home, but it's going to be
jersey on this game, man.
Oh,
got a jersey on this one.
What's the bet, CJ? Let us know.
If I win, I get a Mac jersey. If I lose, I got to give Nick a Josh Allen jersey. All red.
It's tough out here, man.
Yeah, man. It's the biggest.
Did you bet on who wins the division?
For the division, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You know, listen, maybe even if they lose, maybe you get lucky, the Bills stumble again. They lost to the Jags. Anything's possible.
Yeah, that's true. But this is just this game right here, son, coming up. This is a big one for sure.
And so you hope Mac doesn't play like that again. You hope the Patriots can just, you know, run the ball because, you know, they got taken out of their, you know, typical offense where they just can pound the rock a lot. And the Colts are pretty good against the run as well. Stevenson, I thought was going to have a big game because Harris was out. He, didn't do too much, but I think we're going to be all right, CJ. I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, they couldn't run the ball because it was from behind. It was like 17 zip. So it's like you can't run. You know what I'm saying?
And
so
this man Carson Wentz turned into Tom Brady with the QB sneaks, bro.
Yeah, I mean that's all really all he was.
Nelson.
Yeah, that's all he was really doing well in the game. To me, I know that's your guy, but he didn't have any. He didn't look outstanding to me. It was really just New England making the mistakes. Coach defense played excellent. Jonathan Taylor did his thing. He didn't have a great game. But if he's just good enough, and then everything else is playing right for the Colts, they're gonna have a shot to win, and that's what happened on Saturday night. And then we got a thriller Thursday night football. You could say it's one of the best games of the year. It's crazy. Got the 49ers. The Chiefs and the Chargers back and forth. Both teams going for. And you need yourself a Foles.
Don't you dare. Once an apples, baby.
Chargers look like the Chargers are gonna win. There were moments. Then the Chiefs just fourth quarter and overtime. Mahomes, Hill, Kelsey. It's just a trio that it's just tough to stop.
Unmatched.
Tough to stop. The Chargers had their chances. I like them being aggressive and going for fourth down. It's just certain situations. Like I said, situational football. In some moments you go for it. There's other moments you take that field goal. You have to take that field goal. And it wasn't like the defense wasn't playing well, because it was a really close game up until like late in the second half. The defense were getting some key stops on Mahomes. So, you could have took those points and you win the game. 37-34. You know what I mean? But they didn't do it. They've had some plays earlier in the season, throughout the season, where they went forward and have helped them. Game against the Chiefs, the first time they made some big key plays on fourth down and they got it. So I like the confidence, but just again, situationally, maybe just wasn't the best time. Again, hindsight's 2020, of course, but the Chiefs ended up getting this win. I feel like the Chiefs needed this one a little bit more because the Chargers did beat them already. And the Chiefs, what is this? How many is this for the Chiefs? I believe 6
in a row.
5. Yeah, I think it's 6, 5 or 6,
6 or 7,
6 or 7, maybe. Yeah. So they've been playing they've been winning a lot of games. It hasn't been pretty throughout this streak by any means. They've had some ugly losses. They've had some great losses. This one was ugly early. It was like 10-10 for a minute. And then they were getting in the red zone. Both teams were getting in the red zone, just couldn't convert anything. And then the offenses started to pick up. But the Chiefs, Mahomes had a big-time play, big-time run up the sideline for like 30-something yards. Kelsey had a big-time play before the play, the dagger. Just Hill was solid. So it's going to be tough to stop this team, man. We could see, like, they could have these sluggish type games, and then they could go for 30 and they could put up 3 touchdowns in a row in any moment. So this team is very dangerous. I know a lot of people wrote them off, but they're going to be a problem. They're going to have I feel like they're going to have the number 1 seed again.
Yeah.
And
although if they lose to the Steelers this week and we win, just saying.
Yeah, it's possible. It's obviously it's possible.
With Hill and
Lions lost to the Cardinals.
They got Kelsey and Hill out too.
Right, that's right. Yeah,
and Harrison Butker, their kicker.
So it's gonna be a defensive battle. If the Steelers if they get the Mahomes and make it ugly, they have a shot. We'll get to the picks right in a little bit, but yeah, what was your thoughts on this game, man? This was a thriller. This is a really good game to start the week.
CJ, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? This game, I totally forgot was on Thursday. Your boy was at the Spider-Man premiere.
Right.
So I didn't get to watch it live. I did watch the highlights. And, the thing you take away from it, too, is, like, we usually talk about offensive pieces being the most important part, to a team or something. Derwin James might be the second most valuable player on this team. behind Herbert, obviously, because you look at what happened in this game after he left because he got hurt. Bro, this man Kelsey was going crazy. So it could be a completely different game if Derwin James ends up being healthy in this one. He obviously wasn't. Like I said, he ended up leaving the game with an injury. But
it's another one, man. Just keeps getting nicked up.
Bro, crazy. He's got a chance to be Defensive Player of the Year every year if he's healthy. Every year. Man can play everywhere. But yeah, I think both of these teams are going to be a problem in the playoffs. I was hesitant on the Chiefs because, they were on this win streak, but like you said, a lot of them weren't pretty. You can clearly make the argument if the Packers have Aaron Rodgers in that game against them, they would have gotten blown out, in my opinion. You look at even the Cowboy game where they won, it wasn't very pretty. So I was waiting to see, the Chiefs, and obviously last week they put up like 48 points against the Raiders, but they had blown the Raiders out earlier in the season as well. So was it just a Raider thing, or was it, the Chiefs are back finally? And I think this was the game where you can kind of say like, okay, maybe the Chiefs did get their swagger back a little bit. So I'm higher up on them now than I was before. And for the Chargers, man, you just got to hope Derwin's good, because Derwin is kind of the Malcolm Jenkins against Gronk thing. If Derwin James up against Kelsey, you can help that. And then you can obviously probably double Tyreek because you can leave Derwin one-on-one with Kelsey. And of course, Kelsey will probably get his, but I'm sure Derwin's going to make it very difficult. And like you said, maybe if the Chargers can make a tackle in overtime, they hold the Chiefs to a field goal, and then we go back. Chargers could go down the field and score a field goal or score a touchdown. And here's the other thing too. I wonder if all those Chiefs people hate the overtime rule still, because you remember when the Patriots beat them in the championship game in overtime?
Yep.
I think the chief owner came out and was like, we have to change the overtime rule. You think they hate it now? You think they still hate it?
Yeah, I disagree with that. I disagree with that, man. Like you got a defense for a reason. Defense supposed to make those stops. Buccaneers defense made the stops against Buffalo the week prior to get Brady the ball back, and then Brady got the dagger. So,
I bet they don't hate the rule anymore. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, you just can't just favor everything for the offense. Like they already get all the calls and all the flags. It's like you got a defense. You got 11 guys on the other side too. They got to go make plays and go get the offense the ball back. That's their job. Like,
CJ, you are not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild, man. But let's get to these week 16 picks. Started off, we got the 49ers and the Titans. Who are you rolling with?
I'm going to go with the 49ers. I've lost faith in the Titans.
Yeah, I got San Fran as well. Browns, Packers.
This is easy for me. I'm going with the Pack.
Yeah, I'm going with Green Bay as well. I think Baker will be back. I think it might be a little closer than we expect, but I'm still going with Green Bay. We got the Colts and the Cardinals. This is a big game for both teams, really.
Absolutely.
I mean, Colts could win and may get in that second seed if New England loses because they had the tiebreaker. And then the Cardinals kind of trending in the wrong direction right now. So they definitely need this dub at home. Who you got?
I think I'm going to go with the Cardinals for the simple fact they just lost to the Lions, and they probably just got destroyed at practice and in the meetings. So I think I go with the Cardinals, although I'm not confident in it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Arizona as well. I mean, you could call me biased because obviously Colts just beat the Pats, and need some things to work out for the kid. But but yeah, I think again, they're on a 2-game losing streak right now. They're at home. They need to play with some life in front of those fans, man. They haven't had the greatest home record throughout this season. They've been more of a road team, so they need to come out and have a good game. It's going to be tough to stop Jonathan Taylor, as we know, but I think the Cardinals win this one in a close game. Giants, Eagles. I got Philadelphia.
Yeah, I got the Eagles too, man. The Giants are just terrible at football.
Rams, Vikings. Important game for honestly both teams. Really, I mean, the Rams want to win the division. If the Cardinals lose and the Rams win, it puts them in a good spot. And the Vikings want to try to get in the playoffs. So hopefully they're playing with a different type of urgency. Who you rolling with?
Yeah, they can play with all the urgency they want. I'll go with the Rams.
Got Matt says Rams. Rams, and it's a no-brainer, CJ. Yeah, I'm going with the Rams too. I'm gonna have to go with the Rams as well. Yeah, I just feel like it's gonna be a good game though. I feel it's gonna be a good game. But I got Los Angeles. Bills, Patriots. I mean, I got the guys.
Yeah, man. Gotta go with my boys. Listen, until the wheels fall off. You feel me?
Of course, always. It's gonna be a close game. Great game. I think it's gonna be a thriller. But of course, Buccaneers, Panthers. I got to go with the Bucs. I mean, again, I know they're decimated with injuries right now, but I just feel like Carolina just doesn't have anything offensively that should scare that Buccaneers defense. So I go Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that's easy for the kid. The Bucs lock up the division for the first time in many years.
Yep, we got the top pick of the 2022 NFL Draft Bowl between the Jaguars and the Jets. Who you got? Since 2007? Not for me. It's been longer than that.
I think I'll go with the Jets. I guess.
Yeah. Wow. I'm going to go with the Jags. I'm going to go with the Jaguars. Again, why not, right? Speaking of why nots, we got the Falcons and the Lions. Who you got?
Yo, this should be easy Falcons. But like the Lions play very hard. I'm still picking the Falcons. But I don't know. You know what? If this game was at the Lions, I would pick them because they win at home. But it's the road, so I got to pick the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Falcons as well. I would not be surprised at all if the Lions win this game. But
not at all.
I think the Falcons may get the dub on this one. Chargers and the Texans. I got the Chargers.
Yes. No, we don't even know how to talk about that one.
Ravens, Bengals, part 2. Bengals slapped the Ravens the first meeting. Slapped them. You know what I mean? Man, I'm going to say the Ravens just because they need this one. They need this win right here.
I'm going with the Bengals. Ravens are too banged up, and you know what? I'm feeling some Burrow magic.
Burrow magic. All right. Bears and the Seahawks. I got Seattle. Lamar has peaked! Exclamation point. I'm crying.
That's right to saying it. Yeah, give me the Seahawks too. Like the Bears are terrible.
All right, this is the game where you said, I don't know, the COVIDs and stuff. Yeah. Panthers. Steelers, Chiefs. Who you got?
Listen, all healthy, I'll go Chiefs. But if they're missing Hill and Kelsey, I'm picking the Steelers.
Wow. Give me Kansas City, bro. I just don't trust Pittsburgh's offense.
No matter what.
Yeah, okay. No matter what, bro. I just don't trust their offense. Broncos, Raiders. I'll go Vegas. I mean, Drew Lock is going to probably play and not Teddy Bridgewater. It's going to be a close game. I wouldn't be surprised if Denver won. They have a better defense. But I'm going to go Vegas.
Yeah, I'll take the Raiders
I'm
too.
not entirely confident in that pick, but I'll go with
No.
Vegas here.
No, not at all. I don't think you'd be confident picking either one of these teams ever.
Broncos are finished. Oh yeah, for sure. That's what Matt says on Color Cast. Shout out to Matt. We got Washington versus the Cowboys, part 2 from 2 weeks ago. Who you rolling with?
I think I'm going to go with the Cowboys again. Everybody should be back on COVID from the Washington, but we've seen it, bring some people down for a week. So I will stick with them. I will stick with the Cowboys, I should say, even though it pains me to do so because I want them to be terrible.
Yeah, I'm rolling with Dallas as well. I just think it's not competitive offensively for the Washington football team. And this is Monday night right here.
Yeah.
Vic Gangrene with the easy win. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I guess it's the Jaguars. I don't know. But then again, it's the Jets.
It's the Jets.
So, yeah, it's tough. Dolphins Saints. This is
something.
Yeah, this is something, man. This is something.
There's a whole lot of defense.
Yeah, a whole lot of This is definitely a defensive game. Flores versus Allen.
I'm gonna go with the Saints, bro.
You know the Saints? Okay, I'm gonna go with Dallas. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins just because this could be like a 9-3 game, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I could see something like this.
A little 6-3 action.
Yeah, 6-3, something like that, bro.
And you know the worst part about it is, CJ? We're all going to sit there and watch it because we're idiots, and it's football.
Matt says Tua no longer turn the ball over. Yeah, you had to change it up.
Oh, look at this. This man flipped a switch. Shout out Drake.
Had to change the nickname, bro. Had to change that nickname.
Well, CJ, we've gone over all the games. We've picked all the games for next week, and now it is time for us to go. CJ, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you can find me here every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. My guy Connie, obviously, breaking all things NFL, Garter Podcast, covering all things NBA, Twitch, CJ versus the World. Find me on Twitter at the handle at CJames9. CJ.James9 on IG. Yeah, that's where you guys can find me, man. And also a color cast at CJamesUSN.
Yes, sir. As for me, Anthony Conover _, over there on Twitter. For all my thoughts on the world, Gen Z Sports is on Mondays, 7 Eastern. Me and my guy Josh talk about everything, MMA, NBA, football, whatever we want to talk about. That's what we do. Obviously, like CJ said, me and him are here every Tuesday for all your NFL needs at 9 Eastern. And then Thursday, I got Backstop Banter with my boy Michael, talking about everything in the MLB world. The Mets just hired Buck Showalter, so we got some things finally going on in the MLB world, even though we're still locked out. Anthony _ Conover on Twitch as well. But yeah. A Conover USN over on Colorcast as well, so make sure you show love on the Colorcast side of things, people. But with all that being said, CJ, another wonderful episode. Everybody who stayed in for us with all 2 hours of the show, we appreciate all the hearts on Colorcast, up to about 700 in this one. And like I said, all the people over there on YouTube that stuck with us, Twitch that stuck with us, Twitter, even though we can't see you anymore, we appreciate all the love, people. And we will catch you on the next episode, everybody.